So, welcome everyone. As you know that today our session is about our women who are in business, entrepreneur. What do you think that are the challenges during COVID and how they are dealing with it? So we are going to talk about these things and then we will showcase the business some of our women are doing here. One, two, three, four, five. I think five people are here who wants to showcase their business after Fozia, and I have another presenter. She will come a bit late. She just messaged me that she is coming. So we will start with Fozia meanwhile. Welcome, Fozia. And Fozia, you will tell everybody about yourself.
Hey, awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having this evening and allowing space for this discussion. I'm going to start with a few questions just to get a feel for where everyone is. So, how many of you believe it's our responsibility to make our health and wellness our number one priority? Just by a show of hands. Okay. And how many of you put everybody's needs before your own and it's costing you your health and well-being? Okay. And how many of you believe that our physical, mental, spiritual, and financial health are all connected? Just by a show of hands. Okay, awesome. Well, if COVID has taught us anything, it's that taking care of our health must be our number one priority, and there's no security in jobs. So what I want to do today is share some information with you that changed my health and well-being and gave me access to designing a life which allows me to feel fulfilled. But in order to do so, I have to go back to when some of my earliest habits were created. So if it's okay with you, I'm just going to share my story. So when I was a little girl, like many families, both of my parents worked. And so oftentimes the responsibility of caretaker fell on the eldest sibling. So being the eldest at 8 years old, it was my responsibility to get my brothers to school on time, home for lunch, and then back to school and the babysitter for the younger one. I remember always being praised as being such a good big sister. And somehow in my mind, in the mind of a child, that translated as if I wanted to be liked or loved, I had to be needed. And that was one of my earliest habits. And you'll see where that led me. So I still remember wearing the house key around my neck. I couldn't carry it in my pocket because I was just a kid and I might lose it. But I was a kid with an overwhelm of responsibilities. Here's the thing though. It wasn't until years later, as an adult and with a family of my own, that I realized I was still wearing that key around my neck. The increasing burden of that key and what it represented was who I had become, and it impacted my relationships with family, with friends, and with colleagues. My identity was wrapped up in being that go-to person who knew how to take care of things. My identity was wrapped up in doing for others, and my identity was wrapped up in saying yes, even when my plate was full. I lost sight of the fact that I needed to take care of myself as well. I was buried deep in poor health, stress, depression, and exhaustion. So many times I just wanted to run away, but I couldn't do it, even when I felt like I didn't belong. By that time, I had gotten really good at the facade, what I now call the I'm okay syndrome. I think you all know what I'm talking about. You feel broken inside, but when someone asks you how you're doing, oh, I'm okay. But I wasn't okay. And although I was giving and doing for others, secretly, I felt frustrated, resentful, and I was angry. I felt overworked and I was unhappy. And I was wishing that someone would do for me, but I never asked. So as a result, my cup was always empty. And that's the way it is with stress. If we carry our burdens with us all the time, sooner or later, as the burden becomes increasingly heavy, we won't be able to carry on. And those of us who experience stress and mental health challenges are often told things like, this is just life, just snap out of it. Don't be so sensitive, or these difficulties will be with you forever. Nothing about recovery is ever mentioned, nothing about hope, and nothing about empowerment. And as women, well, we all know we're conditioned, whether it's society or cultural background, to put the needs of others before our own. And oftentimes this leaves us exhausted, overwhelmed, isolated, and suffering in silence. But we don't have to give up our hopes and dreams, and we're not destined to suffer for the rest of our lives. Most of us aspire to live the healthiest life we can, but it doesn't always seem possible because, stress and busy schedules they so easily consume us, right? Have you ever thought that this can't be it? There has to be more to life. Anyone thought that before? You're not alone. Health and well-being comes from the combination of your habits and lifestyle, and those are interconnected. I learned how to say no and to set healthy boundaries, and why it's important to do so. I learned that it was okay to ask for help. I don't have to do it alone. And I learned that what seems like a negative situation can be an opportunity and access to something better. The skills that I learned in my childhood will always be with me. And I wanted to use those skills to help others find their strengths and have hope. Through my workshops and coaching, I am committed to assisting others who are looking for more wellness in their life, and believe that when we fill our cup first and we give from the overflow, we're giving from a place of abundance. I have learned that wellness is a commitment that we must live into each and every day. True wellness of the body and mind and soul requires an ongoing effort, and it's a lifelong journey, and it begins with how we take care of our body. I truly believe that freedom to choose becomes available to us when we have our physical health, our mental health, our financial health, and our spiritual health all in alignment.
Fawzia?
Yeah.
They cannot hear you. Uzma, what can we do about that?
Wait, I'll turn my volume up. Is that better?
Sorry, I can hear you now. It was on my side. Sorry for that.
Okay. No problem. So it's interesting that when we pray for a miracle, often that blessing is not in the package that we're expecting. And when I was going through the most challenging times, I had a friend share with me an opportunity. It was an opportunity that allowed me to be part of an online economy for the last 15 years and be part of a community that supports and uplifts each other. An opportunity that has contributed to changing my physical health and my mental health, my financial health, my mindset, my growth, my confidence and self-worth, and my relationships. COVID has given us the opportunity to reflect on what wasn't working and a glimpse of where the future is heading with the online economy. And I'm dedicated to help people learn what I have learned. Now that you know that we must take 100% responsibility for managing our health and our well-being, I have put a free gift together to help you assess your own health and well-being during this current situation. So if anyone's interested in that free gift, please send me a message or just type free gift in the comments and I'll make sure to connect with you. So now that I've given you a little bit of background about why I do what I do, and I talked about two of my streams of income. One is through my coaching and my workshops, and one is through an online economy. I think what we really need to look at is what is the silver lining that COVID has presented? Because, you know, we can pretend it's not here. We can pretend that everything is falling apart and we have no control, and so we're just victims of this circumstance. Or we can really reflect and say, all right, the external situation is out of my control. How I respond is within my control. What I choose to focus on is in my control. How do I take advantage of the shift that's happening in the world today? How do I take advantage of creating my own security, financial security for myself and for my family? So those are things that we have the opportunity to explore. And I've been a part of the online economy for, like I said, over 15 years. And that was when people were afraid to even go on the internet because they didn't know what to expect. But it's through everything that I've gone through in my life, I was able to take what served me and I was able to leave what didn't serve me. And I think that one of the teachings that I have in my workshops and my coaching that's so key is showing people how to do that, because we can't change our past, but we can choose how we look back at it. And we can't change the things that we went through, but we can choose to take the lessons and the strengths that we got from those situations and create the life that we design for ourselves. It's all possible, ladies. We have it within us. We just get so caught up with the cultural norm and with the pressures of society. And so one of the things, the foundation of what I teach is, how do we find that balance? How do we find a way to fulfill our responsibilities, but taking care of ourselves first so that we can fulfill those responsibilities in a much more effective and responsible way that doesn't create resentment and anger. So that's a little bit about myself. If anybody has any questions, don't forget to type free gift in the chat or reach out to me directly, and I'll make sure that we get in touch with each other.
Thank you so much, Fawzia. Is there any question? सबको पता चल गया फौजिया के बिजनेस का? कोई क्वेश्चन तो नहीं करना चाह रहा? All good?
You're on mute, Surjitji. Miss Aloka, yes, go ahead.
I want to find out more about your economic empowerment through online, you know, what you said.
The online economy. Yes, it's available to all of us. And so, okay, so basically what I do is something that I do naturally anyways. Like, we all want to take care of our health and we all want to be the best version of ourselves. I mean, we have that MWC support group, you know, they work out and they share their routines, and it's such a wonderful group. And so we're all striving for that excellence and to bring our health better and focus on our wellness. And one of the ways to do that, a key foundation piece, is the way that we nourish our body. And so imagine for a moment if there was an online store and you could shop at that online store, and then it's something that you're doing because you're going to feed your body the best nutrition available. So you're shopping at this online store and you can get a return on your investment. So every time I shop, I get a percentage back on what I'm spending. And then another thing as women that we do automatically is when we find a sale or we find something that we like, or, you know, we're always sharing it. I see it in the group all the time. We're sharing, because if we find something that's of benefit, we want to share it with the people that we care about. So imagine for a moment if I'm shopping at this online store and I'm getting a return on my spending. And then I know someone or some people who are also looking to better their health. They're also looking to supplement their income or set up an extra additional stream of income. And so I suggest to them, why don't you look at what this store has to offer? And if they decide to buy from that store, it's kind of like an affiliate program. So I would get a return now on every time that they buy. They're not buying from me. They're buying from the store and they're buying the same price, paying the same price that I pay. But because I was the one that referred them to the store says, thank you for sharing. And every time that any person that you refer to the store to us will shop, not only will you get a return on what you spend, you'll get the same percentage return on what they spend. And if they decide that they also want to go out and they share it with other people, then they would benefit from what their friends and family are spending. But because I was part of that referral, that same percentage would come to me. Remember, everyone is only buying for themselves. We're not selling products to anyone, and we're not buying products from each other. We're all buying from the same store, but the store says, because you referred someone to us, we're going to give you a return. And so not only do I get a return on myself, I get a return on the people that I referred and the people that they referred and the people that they referred, and it goes to infinity. It doesn't matter if it's 2 people or 500 people or 20,000 people. Every time product is purchased, you're going to get the same percent return based on the spending that they do each month. And everyone has access to that. So that was something that I was introduced to and I've been a part of for over 15 years. And you can imagine that it's something that we're doing anyways. I buy products for myself anyways. So just by buying here, not only do I get a return on what I spend, but everyone that I share with. And if they choose to purchase, they can. And if they choose not to purchase, that's fine. But if they pass it on and they're purchasing and they pass it on to other people, and it's created an economy and it's created a safety net. And it's empowered so many women financially because we're doing something that we naturally do. It does not require us to go outside the home and put extra hours in, trading our time for dollars. And so I've helped a lot of women that have found themselves in a situation where they were really stuck. And now they're able to, just by taking care of themselves and their family, they're able to have this income on the side. So I think that that's a really powerful thing.
Just one question, Fazia.
Yeah.
Like, what is this business? Like, it's a kind of multi-level marketing, or how does it work?
It's network marketing. The difference between network marketing and multi-level marketing is multi-level marketing will only pay you for like certain levels deep. Network marketing is it's based on something that women do naturally, and we network with each other.
If you do not mind sharing, what is the name of that business? Like, is it registered under any name or anything that we can?
Yeah,
look
absolutely.
into?
The company's been around for about 20 years. It's called Isagenix International. They have donated about $15 million that they've donated to the Legacy Foundation, which is they go internationally and they help communities that have gone through disasters whether it's a natural disaster or, you know, there's been floods or hurricanes and things, and communities have been destroyed, they'll go in and they will supply food and nutrition for those families.
Yeah, I heard
Um,
about Isogenics.
Yeah, and so they, and you know, if you're going to partner with a company that is part of the online community, the online economy, you want to partner with a company that is responsible. Not only are the products responsibly sourced, but they're on a mission that by the year 2028, they have zero waste in their packaging and everything
Wow.
is like recycled and then recyclable. And so this is a very ethical company, and they have a lot of integrity in regards to not just how we take care of ourselves and our families and our communities, but what are we giving back to the planet and how are we taking care of communities that are not within our immediate neighborhood. And so that, like their mission statement completely aligns with my mission statement. And so I think that the online economy has a lot to offer. There's so many other businesses, even my workshops that I do them now through Zoom, and I'm fully availing the, you know, online access, and I'm able to reach people that wouldn't have had access to my workshops. But if you're going to partner with a company, I would suggest that you really do your research and look into a company. You want someone that's going to be debt free. You want someone that is responsible towards the environment. You want someone that is going to take care of the people that choose to partner with it. So, so yeah, that's the one. Yes, you had a question, Ms. Aloka.
So since it's about business, right?
Yes,
So let's
yes.
get into the dollars and cents here.
Mm-hmm.
So if one was to buy a product worth $100, you said, if I understood correctly, you said that if you, since you believe in those products, you buy
Mm-hmm.
for yourself.
Yes.
Yes. So what I want to understand, if you buy for yourself product worth $100, how much money do you get back?
Okay, so there's a little bit more detail in regards to how the business model works. And every product that they have has a point value. So they're not looking at how much dollar-wise you're spending, but it's point value. So when you purchase products, there's a certain number of points that get accumulated, and so then you get paid out on that. And again, there's a little bit more detail to it, but it's
roughly, right, $100 gets you how many points?
It depends on the product. That's the thing. So they have some products that are like $35, and then they have like packages that they've put together depending on what your health and wellness goals are. Like they address things like you know, weight loss or weight gain or energy or restful sleep or healthy aging. Even, you know, healthy aging, they're ahead of the game with their healthy aging products. They've been written about in medical journals. They have been compared to, they've done clinical studies, short-term and long-term, with a dietitian monitored heart health diet, which is, we're all familiar with that, because if you go to the doctor, that's what the doctor is going to put you on. But they've done clinical studies where now it's written about in medical peer review journals that the Isogenics program actually came out with better results at the end of the clinical studies for short-term and long-term studies, because it's not about the products being a miracle. It's their foundation is that the body was created a miracle. And if you give the body what it needs, the body knows what to do. So if our food that we ate, like fork and knife food that was available from, you know, the grocery stores, even eating organic, if it gave our bodies all of the nutrition that the body needed to function the way it was designed to, then you wouldn't need to supplement your diet. But unfortunately, the food that we eat doesn't have all of the nutrients because the soil, it doesn't have the nutrients, because every time due to the mass farming and the pesticides and the herbicides, it kills the nutrients. And so when we don't have the trace elements in the soil anymore, they're missing from the food that we eat. And so what we're finding is that we are experiencing illness at a younger and younger age. I remember when I was little, type 2 diabetes was called adult onset diabetes. Now it's just type 2 diabetes because children are getting it, right? And so why is this happening? Is because we're living in an environment and we have a lifestyle and we're not getting enough rest, and we have like the mental challenges with our mental health, that it's affecting our bodies. And so when we start to take care of our body and you put in the right nutrition, now science will tell us that our gut health is directly related to our mental health, because there's millions of neurotransmitters sending messages from your gut to your brain. And if those messages are unhealthy, then if your gut is unhealthy, those messages will be unhealthy. And so what we're doing is we're looking at, how do we nourish the body? How do we equip the body to work the way that it was designed to work? And so with the healthy aging, we have, we have something that addresses our telomeres. And this is all the way down to our cellular level. In our DNA, at the ends of our chromosome, there's these caps, and they would be equivalent to the shoelace, the ends, plastic caps on the end of a shoelace. And those plastic caps, if you will, would be called telomeres. Now, as we age and as our cells multiply and divide, those telomeres get short. But because of our lifestyle, because of the malnutrition, because of our environment, those telomeres are shortening at a faster rate. And so we're experiencing what is now, like we know as old age illnesses, at an earlier age. And telomeres are the biomarker for old age illness. So when your telomeres get to a certain length in shortness, you're going to experience old age illness like Alzheimer's and dementia and Parkinson's and all of these things. And so what Harvard actually did was they picked up a study that Isagenix did. Harvard University picked up a study, and they did it on mice in a lab, and they aged the mice to be equivalent to that of 80-year-old humans. And what they noticed is that the mice were actually starting to have problems with their joints, and their hair was starting to fall out. And some of them forgot how to get through the maze to get to their food. So then what they did was they activated an enzyme called telomerase. And once they activated the enzyme called telomerase, the mice who were balding started to grow new hair. The mice who were showing signs of issues in their joints started to show signs of being youthful and that activity again. And the signs of forgetting how to go through the maze, so those early signs of Alzheimer's, they actually remembered how to go through the maze again. And so they reversed Alzheimer's in these mice. And so that's what's possible now because science is looking at these things.
Was here?
Yes.
It's 7:30 now.
Okay.
And there are so many questions here in chat box,
Okay.
including the one, is it not like putting artificial food into human body? And Surjit, she wants to ask some questions. So let me ask Sarabjit. Sarabjit, how much time do you have? Do you want us to go through question answers first and then come to you?
When do we finish this meeting?
Oh,
We wind up it at about what time?
so there is no end time for our meetings. So after your presentations, we have more
Yeah,
guests
because
here.
see, the questions, Uzma, I believe is like we all have lots of questions and we cannot answer all the questions. But
Right.
basically, I was going through those questions with Mita and Suchichi and everybody else has. It's like basically, we're asking if these products are FDA approved. I think we can take care of these questions in one-to-one meetings if the person is interested in learning more about it. But yes, of course, in general, we all want to know if the products that we are going to put in our body, are they FDA approved? And of course, if the company has been in Canada for last 15 years, so we can pretty much assume that these products are FDA approved, right? So
Okay, so
they
to
wouldn't be
answer,
selling. So can you please answer those questions? I think there are only
Yeah.
3 or 4 questions.
Sure.
Let's have the answers right from Fozia and then we can carry on.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, Sarojit.
Gigi wanted to ask something.
Okay, can I just answer these questions quickly? So Isagenix is considered a food and FDA doesn't approve food. So you don't need an FDA approval when you buy a bag of bell peppers. So Isagenix is considered a food and FDA doesn't give approval for food. They do the drug approvals, okay? But on the other hand, nothing is allowed to be sold in Canada unless it's approved by Health Canada. And so, yeah, so Health Canada approves not only the ingredients and the quality of the ingredients, but even the packaging. So to make sure that what's written on the package is what's actually in the package, because there's a lot of companies where they will have like a very minuscule amount of something, and so they don't need to put it on the package, whereas that little minuscule of whatever it is may not be healthy for the body. With Isagenix, they don't do that. They have very rigorous testing, and everything is approved through government levels. What was the other question, or did I answer?
So Gigi wanted to ask something.
Yes, go ahead, Suchichi. You're muted, hon.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਫੌਜੀਆ ਜੀ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਦੋ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਕਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਹਨਾ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਲੱਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਕਿ ਆਪਾਂ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਜਦੋਂ ਕੁਝ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੂਸਰੇ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰ ਦਈਏ ਹਨਾ, ਤੇ ਉਹ ਆਪਣਾ ਇਨਕਮ ਦਾ ਸਾਧਨ ਬਣ ਸਕਦਾ ਆ।
I didn't fully hear Uzma what she was saying.
So Gigi, you can type your question in the chat box, please.
ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਇੱਕ ਮਿੰਟ ਮੇਰੇ ਫੋਨ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਸੀ ਵਿੱਚ ਤਾਂ ਕਰਕੇ ਪ੍ਰੋਬਲਮ ਆਈ ਹੈ। ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਮੈਂ ਲਾਈਕ ਸਮਝਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਇੱਕ ਤਾਂ ਫੌਜੀਆ ਜੀ ਦਾ ਹੈਗਾ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਨਲਾਈਨ ਕੁਝ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੇਮ ਜੋ ਕੁਝ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਦੂਸਰਿਆਂ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਡਾ ਉਹ ਇਨਕਮ ਦਾ ਸਾਧਨ ਹੋ ਸਕਦਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ।
Yes, that's one of the things that I do. Yes.
ਹਾਂ, ਉਹ ਮੈਂ ਕੱਲ ਹੀ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਕੀਤਾ ਕਿ ਮੇਰੇ ਕੋਲੇ ਉਬਰ ਈਟ ਦੀ ਮੈਂ ਐਪ ਡਾਊਨਲੋਡ ਕੀਤੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਕੁਝ ਆਰਡਰ ਕਰਨਾ ਸੀ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਹੀ ਆ ਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਿਸੇ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰਦੇ ਹੋ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ 10% ਕਿ 20% ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਫ ਹੋਊ, ਜਿਹੜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਫਰੈਂਡ ਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰੋਗੇ ਪਹਿਲੀ ਵਾਰੀ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਵੀ ਆਫ ਹੋਊਗਾ।
Yes.
ਤੇ ਉਹ ਦੇਖ ਕੇ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਬੜਾ ਚਾਅ ਜਿਹਾ ਚੜਿਆ ਹਨਾ, ਵੀ ਬੜਾ ਵਧੀਆ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ 2 ਸੈਕਿੰਡ ਲਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਕਰਨ ਲੱਗੀ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਨੂੰ ਰੈਫਰ ਕਰਾਂ ਹਨਾ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ 2-3 ਫਰੈਂਡਸ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਆਈ ਆ ਹਨਾ, ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਦਿਮਾਗ 'ਚ ਉਜ਼ਮਾ ਜੀ ਆਏ ਮੈਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਭੇਜਦੀ ਹਾਂ। ਫਿਰ ਮੈਂ ਕਿ ਨਹੀਂ ਹਨਾ, ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਵੀ ਉਹ ਬਾਏ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਕਰਨਗੇ ਹਨਾ, ਚੱਲ ਛੱਡੋ। ਇਹ ਮੇਰਾ ਕੱਲ ਦਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਆ ਰੀਸੈਂਟਲੀ ਹਨਾ।
Yes. And that's a good point. The difference is, Surjiti, if you refer someone to Uber Eats and you get that 10%, and aage agar wo kisi ko refer kare, you're not going to get 10% unki jo referrals hain. But with this company, even agar aap aage kisi ko refer kare or wo bhi kisi ko, it doesn't matter kitne logon ke baad, everyone you would get a percentage, and it's the same percentage.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਫੌਜੀਆ ਜੀ, ਇਹਦਾ ਵੀ ਮੇਰਾ ਐਕਸਪੀਰੀਅੰਸ ਹੈਗਾ ਹੈ ਨਾ। ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਤੋਂ 8-10 ਸਾਲ ਪਹਿਲਾਂ ਮੈਡੀਕਲ ਆਫਿਸ ਵਰਕ ਕਰਦੀ ਸੀ।
Mhm,
ਉੱਥੇ ਉਸ ਟਾਈਮ ਤੇ ਉਹ ਡਾਕਟਰ ਆਈਸੋਜੈਨਿਕਸ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਸੈਲ ਕਰਦੇ ਸੀਗੇ ਹਨਾ।
mhm.
ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਵੈਸੇ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਵਿਸ਼ਵਾਸ ਨਹੀਂ ਰੱਖਦੀ ਹਨਾ ਕਿ ਇਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ weight lose ਕੀਤਾ ਜਾਊ ਜਾਂ ਇਹਦੇ ਚੋਂ ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਨਿਊਟ੍ਰੀਸ਼ਨਸ ਮਿਲਦੀਆਂ ਹੈਗੀਆਂ ਨੇ। ਤੇ
So,
ਚਲੋ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਦੇ ਪਿੱਛੇ ਲੱਗ ਕੇ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ ਬਾਏ ਕਰ ਲਿਆ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ
okay.
ਵੀ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ। ਮੇਰਾ ਖਿਆਲ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਗੇ ਵੀ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕੀਤੀ ਸੀ ਇਹ ਗੱਲ। ਤੇ ਮੇਰਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਸੀਗਾ ਕਿ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਸੀ, ਸਟ੍ਰੈਸ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਭੁੱਖ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਸੀ। ਮੈਂ ਨਾਲੇ ਤਾਂ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਲੈ ਲਿਆ ਕਰਨਾ, ਨਾਲੇ ਫਿਰ ਆਪਣਾ ਜੋ ਖਾਣਾ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਖਾ ਲੈਂਦੀ ਸੀਗੀ।
Mhm.
ਤੇ ਮੇਰੇ ਲਈ ਇਹ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟ ਨੇ ਵਰਕ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੀਤਾ ਸੀ ਹਨਾ।
Okay, so we can, if you have questions about it, we can talk about that, Sujiji, because I don't know if the person that sold you the products, if you got the right coaching. I work with people directly at one-on-one to make sure that whatever you're taking is working with your body. It's not, Isagenix is familiar with people as a weight loss product. It's not really a weight loss program. It's designed to bring balance to the inside of your body. It's different from other programs that are out there. It's designed to bring balance. And the way we're bringing balance is we have the trace minerals that are very important. You have adaptogens. Yeah. Adaptogens are they're natural plants and botanicals that are available around the world in very extreme environments, and they've learned to adapt. So when we put those into our body, it helps the body to deal with stress, whether it's external or internal stress. So if there's a whole catalog of products, it's like if I want to buy a car and I go into a dealership and I just tell the guy I want to buy a car and he starts asking me questions, he's going to know more about what I need. But if I say I want to buy a car and he just gives me the keys and says, here you go, he doesn't know if it's going to fulfill the needs that I have for that purchase. I see a lot of people comparing this to Herbalife. Herbalife is completely different. Like I said, Isagenix is a food technology. It's not like those other multi-level marketing companies out there. They actually have clinical studies and peer review medical journals that have looked at these ingredients and these programs and compared them through doctor monitored and dietitian monitored to see what the results are. There's no added, there's no artificials, there's no added stimulants. I know with Herbalife, they have that added caffeine and that causes issues with some people. So again, there's a lot of things out there with the online economy. If anyone is like considering looking into being a part of the online economy and you're not sure what type of things you should be looking for, what type of questions to ask the company that you might be thinking of partnering with, you're welcome to get in touch with me and I can help you to find the one that's best for you. Is Isagenix perfect for everyone? Maybe not. It may not be, but I do believe that they have the best products out there, and I do believe that they have the best business model out there. I haven't seen anything else like this. Yes, Uzma.
So we will
yes.
Sujitji, is it possible that we will hold all the question after Sarabjit's presentation?
हाँ ठीक है, कोई नहीं, go ahead.
And Fawzia, I just want to address that Seher, she put it there, the very first question that she would like to know the term about online economy. So just briefly just tell about this, then we will come back to all the questions.
Okay, so yes, Seher.
It's mostly been answered. So I got the point. So even if we skip it, it's fine, totally fine. You can proceed. Thank you so much.
Okay, okay.
Thank you. So now we have Sarabjit, our Women of the Week.
Hello, everybody.
Congratulations for that, by the way.
Thank you so much. All thanks to all of you, Uzma especially. So yeah, thank you so much, Shalokaji, for your love. I receive your constant voice messages with so much of love and affection. to Alokaji and to everybody. So
Very happy to
yeah,
see you as the Woman of the Week. It was wonderful, and the team who put it together, brilliant, brilliant.
yeah, they were like that. It was great
For
write-up.
everybody, for all the women. Oh my God.
I just sent a message that wow, sometimes you don't even look at yourself in the mirror and say, ah. And then when somebody comes by and say, hey, you look good. So it changes your perspective, right? So I
Yeah.
was very happy to hear that. And as I put in the group as well, that appreciation is food for soul.
Mm.
So thank you for refreshing my soul once again, everybody. And Surjit Di, thank you for introducing me to this wonderful group about 8-9 years ago. So we have been, I have been part of this group, got the opportunity to know such wonderful women, powerful women, always inspiring, always helping each other. So just a bit about myself, as you all know, we came to Canada about 15 years ago and had a 4-year-old. I wasn't planning for the second one, but in 2 months, 3 months, I was like, oh my God, the second one is on the way. So what to do? No elderly or family person here. And then we just decided to go ahead with the baby, and we decided to stay home. So I would stay home, take care of the baby. And at that time, I was introduced into a wonderful online opportunity called Amway Global. And it gave me an opportunity to go out. So in that sense, I met Surjit Sandhu. Sorry, I call her all the time. I call her the. So I met her, and since then we know each other. I think it was September or October of 2007. Sorry, 6 October of 2006. So since then our journey started. Been with her for 14 years, a wonderful person that I know, and so much, I love her so much. So she brought me to Mountain Women Council, if I'm not wrong, somewhere in 2012, as Uzma and I were talking the other day. But Amway was not for me. And I decided to look into some other opportunities which can give me a more constant income and how I can add value to people's lives. So then I was introduced to the world of financial industry, insurance. So in 2009, I took my life insurance license, and I wanted to pursue, like, I don't want to be just a LLQP licensed person. So I went ahead. I did not complete my chartered life underwriter. I still have to write one exam, but I did complete my certified health insurance specialist qualification. It was a 2-year diploma that I took care. It was going forward. So the focus, as I was told today, is to see that how in today's, especially given the COVID situation, because everything that we do, like I do insurance, and I have to get out. I have to be in front of people. It's not like that I can just sit at home and sell. It's a concept. So there are questions to be answered, presentations to be made. You need to it's a tailor-made. Every single plan of insurance is a customized plan. It's not one plan or one size fits all kind of plan. So I believe today's topic, Uzma, was about how we are surviving into this industry or what am I doing? Because now they tell you cannot go see people. Duh. And when I'm doing insurance, how far am I sitting? At a hand's distance and an arm's distance. That is like my arm is very small. So maybe 2 feet, huh? So at a 2 feet distance, sitting on the same dining table, talking to people about their financial responsibilities in the God forbid scenario, if the bread earner X's out of the picture, what happens? Or if they want to build up an estate or want to save plan or grow the money securely. So you have to sit with the person and with a mask on and a 6 feet distance, you lose your client. There you go. You have to, instead of doing 10 presentations and making 5 sales, you have to do, I think, 50 presentation and make 1 sale. So not feasible. And as most of my MWC team know that I went through a little tragic moment last year. So still struggling with that. And we decided to take my real estate license. So right now, I'm not only doing insurance, I'm also doing, these are my Facebook pages. I do personal taxes, real estate, and life insurance. So when I talk about insurance, so it's not only you, everybody would see 2 other pages there, custom framed arts. I mentor my 18-year-old and my 13-year-old, both my boys. They decided to go into this on the onset of pandemic. Actually, we got this, we started doing this in April this year. So if you go on Facebook, you will find this page. And then if you see Medics ABC, medical supply store, this is solely my 13-year-old's idea. His uncle, like we all know Hindi, Punjabi, his Tayaji, he makes these hand sanitizers. So he was like, Tayaji, I want to sell them. So he just opened his own page and he's making his website. I'm just mentoring him. He's doing it. So what I am doing is in insurance, we all know what insurance is all about. It's not only what if I die too soon. Insurance is also about what if I live too long. Like I have plans. Okay, if I live till 70, 75, I'm good. I will not need nobody's financial help, right? I have my will in place. I have my power of attorney in place. I have my personal care in place. So all good. But what if I do not die at 75 and I die at 92? What's going to happen in those 17 years? I don't want to be financially dependent on anybody. So how do we plan that through life insurance? So I do all these things. Estate planning is very important. Like in our community, I haven't seen women or even men training or teaching people about it. So that's part of my learning in insurance industry, that how do you build an estate. But many people are smart, they know how to build an estate, but how you are going to pass on that estate from one generation to another generation by leveling the taxes. So we all ladies are learned ladies here, we all know that when it passes from one spouse to another, every single cent is a tax-free rollover. So you don't pay taxes when one partner passes away, second partner doesn't pay any taxes. But when the second partner, now I don't say partner, I will say parent, when the second parent is out of the picture, everything that goes to their kids, the second generation, except the primary residence, every single cent is taxable. So that's what I talk to people about when I talk about estate planning, that it's good, amazing how you're building up your estate, you're building your value, you're building up your RRSPs, tax receiving accounts, you have a house, you have a rental property, you have a cottage. I love those people. Like, good, you're working for something, you have some passion, right? But what's happening is, great, you're doing that, awesome. But have you planned how that empire, the small empire that you're building, how are you going to transfer that empire, a big chunk of that empire, to your next generation? You're not building it for CRA. And as we know, we live in Canada, we pay the highest taxes after our death. When we die, that is the time we are highly taxed. So we pay taxes while we are working. We pay tax when we earn. We pay tax when we spend. We pay tax when we save. And we pay tax when we die. We are no doubt we are living in the world's most beautiful country, most compassionate country. I'm so proud that during this pandemic, I was a PR or I was a resident. I was a citizen of this wonderful country, right? Not only during pandemic, my husband met with such a bad accident, and it shouldn't have happened, but I'm so thankful that if it happened, it happened in such an amazing country. But this country is being built up and is amazing because of the taxes that we pay. So there are strategies. So that's what I talk about estate planning. I talk about that how you can build your estate and how you cannot evade taxes. Tax evasion is a crime. But how you can, on the same time, while you are building your empire, how can you build your taxation? Like, how can you do that? Like with the help of insurance. So investments and insurance, they work together hand in hand. If one person works only on insurance and is not working on investments, that's also not good. But when one person starts working on investments and is not even bothered about insurance, that's also not good. So investment and insurance, they are like two buddies. So they go hand to hand. And as I mentioned, I took real estate license, and therein I help people in buying their first home, like how to build real estate, how to accumulate real estate, how not to think about today, but what's going to happen in real estate market 5 years down the road. So all this comes, I'm doing that. And once again, let me take you to these pages. So a bit about this, like this is my insurance. Everybody knows about real estate is okay. So this is the page where guys can go, and now we are putting customized offers for the, oh my God, I'm so sorry. I totally forgot. First of all, a very happy Eid, if I'm not wrong. What
Yes.
some
Rabiul Awwal.
Rabiul Awwal, sorry. Yeah. So happy celebrations to all my friends.
Thank
So my apologies. I had at that and I totally forgot. So this is a small thing that they're putting up, as you can give it as Diwali or New Year's gifts and even Christmas or whichever figure you want. But he has these 4 preset pictures. It's like they are 2D, so you can see the double images. So they come up like on one side you will see another image, and on other side you will see another image. So whatever pictures you want, you can customize, you can get them printed, framed. So yeah, that's what these 2 munchkins are up to in this pandemic. We are using the power of internet. So these kids, they have, sure, Mita, I can share the link in the group. So they are maximizing the power of internet. The power of internet is like, we are sitting here today and he's getting orders from Ottawa and Surrey because he's promoting his page. You don't have to spend a lot of money. We can go on something called Google Ads. So right here, Google Ads, we can start our own campaigns. Like I have a small campaign called Super Visa Insurance. So because Super Visa Insurance, everybody wants to buy and everybody wants to buy cheap, right? So when you go on this, and then it's just like, if I will see, so this is how it will, just like if you will type Super Visa Insurance. You can make your own pages. Our like women entrepreneurs, they can make their own pages. So just gonna click anything right now. So here your page will start showing up, right? So then you can quote or something. And then another is on Facebook also. See, there's a button called promote. So when you create a page, it's so simple. You need to go on your own profile. And you can start, you can have here, create page. So if I go here at home, go home, yeah. Okay, so go home and then here you go. You can start, you can create your own page. Here it is pages, create a page, start promoting what you are doing. It's very important to engage today's generation, and we can engage today's generation only through internet. So all these pages, they have an Instagram account, they have a Twitter account, they have LinkedIn account, they have a Facebook account. So it's very simple to make this page. If you want, I can send up a tutorial into the group how to make page, but I know everybody knows about it and mostly we are using it. But the thing is, we have to promote it. And what Sarjeet ji was talking about, and even Fawzia was talking about network, it's very important. It's not only one product. Yes, we do refer people. How many times? I know, I asked Aloka ji, do you know some innovation guy? Right? I needed to get this done, right? So it's just like this world works on referral. Forget about business. ਆ ਸਾਡੇ ਜਿਹੜੇ ਰਿਸ਼ਤੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਰੈਫਰਲ ਤੋਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਸੀ, ਰਾਈਟ? ਉਹ ਭੈਣ ਜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਕੁੜੀ ਵਾਸਤੇ ਕੋਈ ਰਿਸ਼ਤਾ ਹੈਗਾ? ਹਾਂਜੀ, ਮੇਰੇ ਫਲਾਣੇ ਦੇ ਮਾਮੇ ਦੇ ਚਾਚੇ ਦੇ ਤਾਏ ਦੇ ਮੁੰਡੇ ਦਾ ਫਲਾਣਾ ਟਿਮ ਇੱਕ ਆਪਾਂ ਦੇਖ ਲੈਂਦੇ। ਸੋ ਇਟਸ this world has evolved through referrals. Powerful referral, promoting each other, they mean a lot. They mean a lot. Your business can grow. I shared this before with all of you, and I'm going to share again. Like when this happened, it was all my clients. They were all my clients. Like, hey, sir, don't worry, Paji got into accident. Oh, you remember last time you said we need to get some kids insurance done? Why don't you come over and do it? You wouldn't believe it. Like, I was so stressed out. What I'm gonna do? But Surjit Dee has not only been a good friend of mine, she has been my partner into this industry for long, and she is my motivation. So, like, how helping others is that is what motivates her, right? Helping others. If I used to tell her, Dee, why can't you just get insurance? And she was like, oh, Sarab, I can't. I was like, it's not for you. It's not for you. By insurance, I will make commission once. But what I did is, I sometimes feel like I'm going to get those, have you ever seen those Rogers monitors? They say, this home is monitored by Rogers. Surveillance. So I'm just going to have some of these made. This house is protected by Sarab Leather. So this family is protected by Sarab Leather because I went there, knocked their door. And I have lots of examples. Unfortunately, I had the chance to pay out some claims. And trust me, the laws can never be fulfilled. We all know that. The laws can never be fulfilled, right? But everybody comes in with an invoice. When the misfortune, we can say, when the disability or the injury or the illness or death strikes a family, what happens? Bills are coming. That's it. Hospital bill, this bill, that bill, everything. An insurance agent is the only person who comes home with a check to you. So that's like my motivation, that when, God forbid, because these are the things that we cannot stop, right? We cannot say the misfortunes won't happen. They will happen, right? So that's my business, and that's how I'm doing it. Was it a struggle? Yes. Will it be struggle? Yes. But what do we do? निश्चय कर जीत अपनी करो. So that's what we do. Like, we are so powerful. I was just going through this, that the first line, it did hit me like this. The first line was, women are fools. They compare themselves with women, with men. And the next lines were, they are no comparison. They are superior in so many ways. So why do we have to compare or be superior? We can be big achievers in each within themselves. We don't have to, we have to just compete with ourselves. We have to fight our own fears. That's what I would say. And there are no questions, right? So Meeta wanted me to share the link for my kids' page. Yes, of course, I will be sending that link into the MWC. So I will be sending the link into the team MWC, and there you can have a look at the pictures. And even the best part is you don't have to pick up something from them. If you like anything on internet, if you have your own pictures that you would want, then you want to come and say hello to all the aunties, huh? By Pangada boy. So your Pangada boy is here, and you can do that. So yes, I would be more than happy to answer if you guys have any questions in regards to how am I promoting the business, or if you have any questions that if you how you can join this industry, because we also hire people. Sujit Di will know we have about 20 insurance agents in the team, and we continuously keep recruiting, hiring, and the team is growing. Yes, please. You are mute. Thank
I
you.
have a comment. In this
Yes.
time of COVID-19,
Mhm.
a very challenging time, it's wonderful to see you, Sarabjit, as a mother, encouraging both your children to be engaged in
Sorry. Yes.
so that you are encouraging them to be engaged in a business that they feel creatively inspired by, and that's a wonderful thing.
Mhm. Thank you, Aloka ji. Yeah, thank you for your inspiration. You were there. And
Yes, I saw in the garage the proper machines, and I saw
yeah,
the
now he has moved to
sanitizers
warehouse.
and children involved in, because to find a way to be empowered economically is a very important skill, and wonderful to see you imparting that to your children. Very good.
So this picture is made by him, the picture that you can see behind me. And even that is also like he can also do that. So the one that you see, and lots of other pics, they are doing it. And yeah.
So maybe you can send the Sarabjit. You can
Yes, please.
send their links in the chat, and also what I really liked is how you said that if any of the other women who are entrepreneurs and they want to promote their business and they don't have their pages on Instagram or Facebook. You said 4 things, right?
Yes. So he actually, my little one, my younger one, this 13-year-old. So, right. Just a second. He has some question. Yeah, what do you want to know? So he actually helped not only making these accounts for me, and he even went ahead and he helped couple of my friends. So one of my friends is a pastor, and she runs her own fashion. What do you call, like fashion fabric? She sews them, right? So he helped her make her own page, everything, and showed her that this is how it is done. And now she's on her own. And he helped couple of other. And yes, the machine, the big printer, 5-feet printer, is now moved from the garage to a proper warehouse location. Yep. So,
So it's
and
wonderful that you are having you are teaching your insurance business to other women.
yes, I love to do that. We just hired about 5 more girls.
Yeah,
They are under training, they are taking license. And it's just amazing. It's not only like, if you don't want to go out and sell, I would always say at least learn for yourself. Because with a woman, the family doesn't end, it starts. So if you know about this, you can always teach it to your kids and to your grandkids, right? So a family starts with women. This whole social circle, society, it started when women, with women, not when, it started with women. So if there's no women, we cannot even, like, can we even fathom the thought of having a society without women? No. So I feel like women should be financially, one of the major, that could be my thinking, but I think that one of the major issues that women are not that powerful because they do not learn about their finances. They do not learn how to manage their finances. So it is like a power, like it's just like everything they know. If a woman knows how many times do you measure that, oh, I need to put 5 grams of salt into this to make it good? No. If you can cook a 2 people's food and 200 people food without doing the measurements of loon and mirch, that means this is working much better the way than you think it is. So women, that is like, when you do not have, I'm not saying that take the control and do not let anybody know. Learn. We all need to learn that how finances, like, they're so important. They run everything. Finances to a household is just like oxygen to our body. So you are giving this body food, you're giving this body water, but you're depriving yourself for the oxygen for this body. You're working hard, doing everything, but the main thing you need, I don't say control, but learn about the finances. That what is going, where is going. How many of us can say, oh, this is my monthly mortgage? How many of us can say, oh, this is my property taxes? How many of us can say, you know what? This is, my husband has insurance and I am the beneficiary. You wouldn't believe, it is so sad. About 4 or 5 months back, this lady called me from a reference of one of my own broker's reference. So she calls me, she like, hey, sir, my husband has insurance. I know because now when I get the statement, there is some money going out into this company. She doesn't know what kind of insurance it is, who is the beneficiary. So using my network, I found out that her husband has 500,000 of life insurance with this particular company, but because I'm not the agent on the file, they are not going to give me more information. Wife is not the beneficiary on the file. Children are not on the beneficiary of the file. You know what I mean? So now then she had to go to the lawyer to got the letter and everything, and then they sorted it out. It's so important to know the finances, that what is happening. Where is your will? Do you have your will? How many of you have your power of attorneys? How many of you have your power of personal care? There you go. So we need to know that. When is your mortgage renewing? You don't have to do anything about it. If you have a partner who's taking care of it, yeah, chill, relax, right? But you must know.
Thank you so much, Sarabjit, for sharing.
That's my thing. Like, that's a power you should have. So if anybody wants to know how to do these pages or anything, I'm more than happy to share with you.
Sure. Send all the information in our WhatsApp group, including your ad, which is on the bus. I love that ad.
Me too. Me too.
Thank you so much. I'll do that. Yeah, one of my clients, like he calls me Masi. There's a big group of boys, about 40, 50 youngsters. They all call me Masi because they studied with my nephews. So because Masi, I saw you on Steel and Mavis. I was like, I'm home. No. Masi, I saw you on the bus, and that's when I realized, oh my God, they saw it. So thank you, Gulnaz. Gulnaz, you were so great. I loved your voice. You sang so well. So,
any question for Sarabjit? Any comment? Any question? No.
I have question.
Yes, please. Anji di.
Okay, Sarabjit.
Anji di.
बस स्टैंड पे आपका वो इश्तिहार के लिए आपको पैसे देने पड़ते हैं?
हाँ जी.
How much you have to pay?
Actually, that is a deal with my real estate office. They did it as a big favor to me because I am working with the people like मेरे जेठ के वो बचपन से दोस्त है. So they just said, okay, Sarab, we will take care of that. So I don't know how much they paid for it.
La.
Yeah, they just did it as because that's what I said. These are my blessings. Hanji Surjit, you were going to ask something.
Okay, Sarabjit, एक question ना दिमाग से घूमदा.
जी.
Who's responsible to teach financials? Is it a life insurance agent or a financial literacy educator or investment people? Like
nobody. I will say nobody is responsible for teaching anybody anything. It is person's own desire. If you want to learn, you will find the right people to learn.
Okay.
It's your own desire. But the thing is, do not go to the person who has half information.
So
I do not know much about taxes. I do only personal taxes and a little bit here and there. And if you come to me and ask, hey, Sarab, I have a big company. I have 300 employees. Can you tell me about accounting? I'm the wrong person. You might be my best friend. You might be my child, but I am the wrong person for that. Right? So
where is that information?
That's what I'm saying. You have to find your own resource. I am there for anything in regards to insurance. You can vouch for that, Surjit Di, for me, that you will get all the information, 100% correct information. I can say about life insurance, any kind of life insurance, critical illness, or money back plan. I can give you 100% proper information. I have been doing this for more than 11 years now. I can proudly say that. And I have trained about 40 to 50 people, even more than that. Like those are the people that I can count on the top of my head. I have seen them going away, cutting off, getting their own agency, being so successful, and I'm happy to see them successful. So yes, when it comes to estate planning, I can advise you in regards to how you can balance your building of the estate taxes by estate insurance. So there are two aspects. One is estate tax, another is estate insurance. How you can balance both of them. That I can teach you. But if you come and ask me, hey, sir, I want to buy a plaza. I'm so sorry, my apologies. I do not have any knowledge about that. But yes, I can direct to you to right people.
Yeah, no, you are right. I think it's a very big topic where we are lacking about the financial education industry.
Financial, you are very right. Nobody is teaching anybody about, see, I don't care if the kid learns how to make something in science, a big experiment, but if it doesn't know how to do 2 plus 2 and what are the taxes he's paying, nobody is teaching them about the taxes. Nobody is teaching them how to pay the finance, how to take care of the finances. Those are the things we need to learn. I'm ready to do workshops.
Very good.
I'm ready to do workshop. I'm ready to answer all the questions. I'm ready to do presentations. You don't have to buy anything from me. I don't say that if you ask a question, oh, then you will have to buy a life insurance from me. No. But if you do have questions, I'm more than welcome. I may not answer you back within 2 hours, but I'll get back to you within 24 hours. If I don't have the answers, I will find the right answers and direct you to them.
Yeah, thank you, Sarabjita.
Yeah, so I was a teacher back home for 15 years. I loved teaching and I love to do that even now. I love to do
doing
that.
So great.
Thank you, Dee. You are always
so
awesome.
Proud of you, Sarabjit. So proud of you. Especially when you are going through such a tough time in your life and you're so positive and you are here to empower everybody, to educate. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Uzma. I have so many blessings in my life. That's what I was talking about, that I shared this, my sons started this thing and I shared it with a couple of friends and you wouldn't believe it. I got an order for 20 of these from a friend of mine. So he wants this one, the Krishna. He wants these 20 of these to be framed. So if you see this, like one side, this is a Bal Krishna and another side is a youth Krishna, right? So he wants all these framed in this golden frame.
Wow. You look so
nice.
Let me take a picture. Let me take.
मरने के बाद भी देखो मैं कितनी अच्छी लगूंगी. वो बोलेंगे मम्मी तो देखो.
Captured.
So this is what see for Diwali they ordered this.
Uzma, maybe we can talk to Sarabjit and organize some workshops about financial literacy.
I already spoke to her regarding
and another person ordered this for Diwali. She just ordered 5. So
wonderful.
If you pick up, it is only like 5 or more. If you order, it is only for $12 with frame.
Oh, very good.
Because he's not charging. He said, Mama, I'm not going to charge any profit, just whatever is the material cost. Just to get his name out into. See, so
how much for the frame?
With the frame, it is $12 only.
Oh,
very
if
good.
You order 5 or more, usually they sell for 35 or more. So it's a great gift if you want to give on Diwali to your friends, or if you want a New Year, we can get whatever you want printed. And I will share something with you guys, which he's doing for Christmas. It's amazing. He's making keyboard kind of thing with the family's name on it and the names of the kids and knobs to hang their stockings. So now they can hang stockings on the Christmas, and later on they can hang it wherever and use it as a keyboard.
Sure, we are looking
So,
forward.
yeah, once his design is complete, I'll let you know. I'll post it into the group. So small things like they're good,
Yeah.
and yeah, doing it. And I encourage everybody. I want everybody to do something in their life.
Thank you once again.
Everybody should be doing something.
And I would like to acknowledge the presence of Reva from India.
Wow.
Vidya is here. Raminder ji is here. Am I missing somebody? Farah is here. Thank you everyone for joining us. और हमारे पास काफी देर से बैठे हैं कुछ लोग. So now 5 minutes for each presenter जो अपना थोड़ा showcase करना चाहेंगे business को, and we will start with Sahar.
Hello, everyone. It was very nice meeting all of you virtually, though. And Sarab, you were amazing. Fawzia, amazing things. And you gave me some perspective about it. Like, seriously, asking for help and thinking about your health, because if you're happy, that's when you can make other people happy. And if you're healthy, then you can make some contribution to their health as well. So thank you so much for all those things that you ladies shared. Sarab, I'll definitely get back to you, because I seriously think that I need some financial education. I need to educate myself about my finances. All right. So quickly telling you guys about the business that it's not the business, it's just a venture that I've started with a friend of mine. And it happened during the times of COVID, actually. My friend is...
Sorry, can I have just 1 minute?
Sure.
करमजीत जी, बहुत शुक्रिया आपने हमें ज्वाइन किया हुआ है. आज हम बिजनेस के बारे में बात कर रहे हैं. आई होप कि ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਸਮਝ ਆ ਰਿਹਾ ਹੈ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੀ ਗੱਲ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਨੇ. ਜਿਹੜੀ ਸਾਡੀ ਲੇਡੀਜ਼ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਕਰ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਦੱਸ ਰਹੀਆਂ ਨੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਬਿਜ਼ਨਸ ਦੇ ਬਾਰੇ ਚ. ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ? ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ. ਸੌਰੀ ਸਹਿਰ, go ahead.
No worries. So a friend of mine is doing a clothing business in Lahore, Pakistan, and she was COVID has impacted everyone's life, and I lost my part-time job as well during COVID. It happened in March. So by the time we reached August, both of us were struggling. So that's when she came up with an idea that maybe I can just promote some of her business in North America and Canada. So that's how we have set up an online clothing store for women. It's called the East and West Styles. Mostly we are working to cater the clothing needs of the women who are interested in South Asian, particularly Pakistani branded clothes. That's what we are doing. And our vision is to bring contemporary and modest clothing range for all the beautiful women, irrespective of they are from South Asia or anywhere in the world. That's the reason behind the name, where we want to have a clothing range that has something to offer to everyone. And since the idea is very close to our heart, so we are trying to promote the very famous and we all might be familiar with the term haath ka kaam, the thing that the embroidery that the women and the karigars do. So we are trying to promote that, be it the bridal couture or the formal wear or the usual casual wear for the daily wear as well. So this is what we are doing, and I'll share the link over here and on the WhatsApp group as well. So everybody is welcome to go have a look at there. If you like some clothes, give it some love, and if you would like to place some order, most welcome. Thank you so much. That's all from me right now. If you have any questions, please ask.
So where can we see those clothes?
Well, it's just an online thing right now. The workshops, or the what do we call we call it the the thing where karigars are working, the craftsmen are working, it's in Lahore. So I'll just have the pictures. So I'm sorry for that right now. I don't have physically the inventory with me. So it's just that I can share the pictures with you guys. We can do videos or a video call sessions. If you have some orders for some particular occasion, we can give you some ideas, consultations, and that's how we can, you can go ahead with the orders.
हाथ का काम जो सरजीत जी, आप हाथ का काम जो कहते हैं वो लखनऊ से आए हैं कपड़े?
नहीं जी नहीं, ये लाहौर से है। जैसे दबका, जरदोजी, बहुत सारे काम होते हैं, गोटे का काम है, मोती बीड्स लगते हैं। तो जैसे दुल्हन के कपड़ों के लिए या शादी के कपड़ों के लिए इस तरह से। और जब जैसे वेस्टर्न टॉप्स भी हैं, उस पे भी कुछ बहुत, आप अगर अपना कोई डिजाइन बनवाना चाहें, कोई अपना काम करवाना चाहें, मोटिव्स बनवाना चाहें, दैट्स ऑल्सो, वो भी हम करते हैं।
Hafsa has a question.
लिंक है फेसबुक पेज कोई?
हफ्सा, मैं यहाँ पे भी पोस्ट कर दूंगी, अभी चैट में भी, और आई कैन शेयर ऑन द मैं व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप पे भी शेयर कर दूंगी। आई कैन शेयर ऑन द व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप एज वेल।
आई थिंक सेहर आपने पहले भी किए थे ना उस पे शेयर?
जी, जब आपने मुझे ऐड किया था, व्हेन यू इंट्रोड्यूस्ड मी टू द ग्रुप, आई डिड, बट आई हैव नॉट बीन रियली एक्टिव कि मैं अपनी वो पोस्ट, बिकॉज आई थिंक वो बहुत स्वैम हो जाता है ग्रुप अगर आप products भी लगाएं. So but what I can do is that periodically I can share the link so that अगर किसी को जाके visit करना हो, they are most welcome to do it, and that's how about it.
Please do so. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you so much, everyone.
Very good, very good.
मिस आलोका, वो जो आपका ख्वाब है ना, वो देख लीजिए, सारे यहाँ बैठे हुए हैं, कुछ ना कुछ घर में कर रहे हैं, और अब हमारे पास इतनी देर से हल्की सी मुस्कान चेहरे पे लिए दया, she is here.
Beautiful red lipstick, and on top of that muskan.
Thank you, Uzma. Thank you. Good evening, everyone. So first of all, I would like to say something about myself. My name is Daya Kotwal, and I'm here since last 3 years in Canada. And when I landed here in Canada, then at that time I was thinking, oh, I'm not going to do a job for 8 hours long time. As you know, every woman's concern is their family. And my son, so he was feeling very lonely. So I thought I should do something according to myself that can help, so that I can help my family, I can take care of my family and should earn something. So I was looking for that, and then I found something that, and I jumped into it and started working with that. So I will tell you about this, my work, what I'm doing. So I am working as an independent business owner with the financial industry. Okay. So I'm very thankful to MWC and Uzma for giving me opportunity to talk about my business on this platform. I am honored to be here. So as we know, this COVID situation is going, we all know that COVID pandemic is having widespread effects on businesses across the country. By mid-March, 73% of companies were already feeling the negative effect of the crisis. So according to the survey of over 600 Canadian entrepreneurs, in times of crisis, cash becomes even more important than it usually is for a company. So we all have been forced to adapt to what is going on, and we must work through this. To sustain our business in COVID-19, we have to take some precautions. I would like to tell about this something. So before that, I would like to give some introduction about my business and how I managed it during the COVID-19. So I have been running this business for 2 years, and in this business, we provide financial education to North American families. Okay, I deal with on mortgages, insurances, and investments. Okay, as we all know that these services are essential services in Canada, and most people are already having these services, but they are not properly educated about them, for which they pay for their whole life. Okay, so this is the difference that we are creating in our business by providing proper education and guidance to these Canadian families regarding all these financial services according to their need and affordability, because this is very important that we have to see families what is their need and what is their affordability. So we should give them those services according to their needs, and absolutely it is free of cost. Okay, so benefits as being working in this business for me as a entrepreneurs are why I jumped in this business. So number one is I am able to use my own flexible hours. Okay, and number two, not much investment to start this business, unlike other businesses. And number three, no skills required. Anyone can do it in their comfort zone. Number four, no previous knowledge of this industry is required. Number five, passive income, which is the best thing in this business. Passive income and business growth all over Canada. Then six, training is provided by the business support team and myself. Seventh, in addition to providing education in our business, we also provide equal opportunity to anyone who wants to be a business partner. So anyone can join with me. And eight, most important of all, growth of my business during the adverse conditions like COVID-19 we are going through. So before COVID, I was meeting with families at their houses or at my office or at any public place according to my clients' comforts. But COVID changed all the scenarios. For my business, I started working from home through Zoom meetings, and we started meeting with all families and started conducting webinars and training for our employees and business partners. All was done through the Zoom meetings. And it was very convenient for everyone, for me and as well as for the families too. For me as an entrepreneur, my first resolution in this COVID is that I should think about the safety of my employees, clients, business partners, and all those whom we are in contact on a daily basis. Okay. Like we should use safety practices to prevent transmission of this COVID problem. We should work from home to minimize contact and maintain social distance. Our services that we are giving that should be delivered remotely. And during the crisis, we can never communicate too much. So our communication plan should be a clear and concise message to our clients and business partners. And the thing I want to say that I am feeling so much gratitude and excitement while sharing with you that I did very well in my business during this time. So I feel proud and lucky to be in this business. When I observe that my business even grows in this time, and it grows much more in this COVID time. So I was happy when I came here. I was thinking of doing like that. I was thinking that I want to earn more money, but I also want to use my time according to myself. So this business gave me both opportunities. While according to my own time, I'm earning a lot of money. I'm helping families with these services. We all know mortgages, insurances, investments. These are called essential services of Canadian families. So I'm providing these services to all the families. And we have two opportunities in this business. One is we can give detailed information about all these services, and another is if anyone is interested and want to do whatever I am doing, they want to doing it on their comfort zone, they can contact me. I can share my contact number. You can contact me and I can help in that services. With that, thank you very much. Thanks a lot to all of you. And Fozia and Sarabjit, they also gave a very nice message for that. Thank you all. Have a good night. Thank you. Thank you, Uzma.
There, it's because I work with newcomers, and within 3 years, you are doing this. It's a great thing. I must commend, and you are satisfied with everything you are doing. That's a big thing.
Yes, thanks
Yeah.
for that, because every woman, she is struggling every time. Oh my God, for the job, running for the job, doing household things, taking care of family, everything. So I was like a person that I don't want to do this. So I was looking for something that I can do according to myself. And I am thankful to God and to Canada also that we have all types of opportunities here. And I got this opportunity. Yeah.
And दया, हमारी मिस सलोका का तो यही ख्वाब है कि हम
Oh.
सब किसी ना किसी तरह घर बैठ के अपने कंफर्ट जोन में अपने आप को फाइनेंशियली इंडिपेंडेंट रखें. And that's a big thing. और आपने अपना वो जो करियर था पिछले कितने साल का आपने मुझे बताया था? 15 years?
Yeah, 15 years. Yeah, I was a lecturer in college, teaching. I was in a teaching profession. तो यहाँ आके मैंने चेंज कर दिया वो प्रोफेशन. ये बहुत अच्छी चीज है कनाडा की कि यहाँ पर हम आके कुछ भी कर सकते हैं. ये डिपेंड्स अपॉन अस. हर तरह का है यहाँ पे हमारे पास अवेलेबल. सो हम क्या कर सकते हैं? हम सब कुछ. वुमेन कैन डू एवरीथिंग इफ शी वांट्स. क्या नहीं कर सकती?
इसीलिए तो लैंड ऑफ अपॉर्चुनिटी कहते हैं हम इसको.
Yes.
थैंक यू सो मच.
आप इस चैट में अपना टेलीफोन नंबर शेयर करें just in case somebody wants to connect with you.
Yes,
One
sure.
thing, and second thing is आपकी कंपनी के क्या नाम है?
हाँ, मेरी कंपनी का नाम वर्ल्ड फाइनेंशियल ग्रुप है. मैं वर्ल्ड फाइनेंशियल ग्रुप के साथ काम करती हूँ.
वेरी गुड.
हाँ जी.
आप अपना टेलीफोन नंबर भी शेयर करें ताकि अगर किसी को आपको कांटेक्ट करना हो.
यस, श्योर.
मैं बाद में व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में भी डाल दूंगी इनकी सारी इंफॉर्मेशन.
हाँ जी, हाँ ठीक है. आप मुझे ऐड कर लीजिएगा.
अब हमारी आंटी सुरजीत जी, आप आर यू देयर?
ओके उस्मा जी, एक सेकंड.
So Narinder auntie, after Naseeb auntie, then it's your turn.
ओके एक्चुअली मम्मी चले गए है ना, वो सौंगे. मम्मी ज्यादा देर तक बैठ नहीं सकते.
Okay.
ਬਟ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਦਾ ਪੈਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਸੀਨ ਦਾ, ਉੱਥੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਜਿੰਨੀ ਦੇਰ ਮਰਜ਼ੀ ਬਿਠਾ ਲਓ, ਹਨਾ. ਜਿਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਪੈਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਥੱਕਦਾ ਬੰਦਾ. ਪਰ ਉਹ ਇੱਥੇ ਬੈਠ ਨਹੀਂ ਸਕੇ ਜ਼ਿਆਦਾ ਦੇਰ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਕੁਝ ਇੰਗਲਿਸ਼ ਚ ਚੱਲ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ ਕਨਵਰਸੇਸ਼ਨ. ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਥੋੜਾ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਕਿ ਮੈਂ ਤਾਂ ਸੌਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਹਾਂ. ਐਨੀਵੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਦੇ ਬਿਹਾਫ ਤੇ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਣਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੀ ਹਾਂ. ਤੇ ਮੰਮੀ ਜਿਹਦਾ ਮੰਮੀ ਦਾ ਪੈਸ਼ਨ ਆ ਕੱਪੜੇ ਸੀਣਾ, ਹਨਾ. ਅਸੀਂ ਵੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਹੁਣ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਨਿਗਾਹ ਵੀ ਘੱਟ ਆ, ਚਲੋ ਰਹਿਣ ਦੋ. ਪਰ ਮੰਮੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ. ਪਰ ਮੈਂ ਦੇਖਦੀ ਹਾਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ, ਅਬਜ਼ਰਵ ਕਰਦੀ ਹਾਂ, ਉਹ ਕਦੇ ਚਾਹੇ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਸਵੇਰ ਤੋਂ ਲੈ ਕੇ ਸ਼ਾਮ ਤੱਕ ਬਿਠਾਈ ਚੱਲੋ ਮਸ਼ੀਨ ਤੇ, ਉਹ ਨਹੀਂ ਥੱਕਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਹਨਾ. ਤੇ ਚੰਗੀ ਗੱਲ ਵੀ ਆ, ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਹੁਣ ਕਈ ਵਾਰੀ ਜੌਬ ਤੇ ਚਲੇ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਮੈਂ ਵੀ, ਤੇ ਘਰੇ ਇਕੱਲੇ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਨੇ, ਉਹ ਆਪਣੇ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਦੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ ਆ, ਬੋਰ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਹੈਗੇ, ਤੇ ਬਾਹਰ ਘੱਟ ਜਾਂਦੇ ਆ, ਹਨਾ. ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਦਿਖਾਉਣ ਲੱਗੀ ਆ, ਮੰਮੀ ਕੋਲ ਅਜੇ ਵੀ ਕੰਮ ਦਾ ਬੜਾ ਢੇਰ ਲੱਗਿਆ ਪਿਆ. ਕੱਪੜੇ ਸੀਨ ਦਾ, ਕੱਪੜੇ ਸੀਨ ਵਾਲੇ.
ਨਹੀਂ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਹੈ, ਕਿੱਥੇ ਸੀਂਦੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ? ਹੈ ਕਿੱਥੇ ਰਹਿੰਦੇ?
ਘਰੇ बैठ के सींदे हैं.
नहीं केड़ी किथे?
नरिंदर आंटी अभी वो लिख देंगी सारा, हम बता देंगे आपको.
और रेट क्या है सूट का? क्या
हाँ जी, अभी बताते हैं, पहले हम देख लें, then she will tell.
ठीक है. ਤੇ ਆ ਦੇਖੋ ਨਾ ਮੰਮੀ ਕੋਲੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਮੇਰੇ ਨੈਟਵਰਕ ਚ ਜਾਣ ਪਛਾਣ ਵਾਲੇ ਨੇ, ਹਨਾ. ਸਾਰੇ ਲਾਈਕ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਦੇ ਆ ਕੱਪੜੇ. ਜਿਵੇਂ ਹੁਣ ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਨੇ ਕਿ COVID-19 ਚੱਲ ਰਿਹਾ, ਕਿ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਹੈ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੈ. ਜੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੋਈ ਕੰਮ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕਰਾਂਗੇ ਪਤਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਉਹ ਚੱਲਣਾ ਜਾਂ ਨਹੀਂ ਚੱਲਣਾ. ਪਰ ਆਈ ਥਿੰਕ ਸਾਰੀ ਡਿਮਾਂਡ ਉੱਥੇ ਹੀ ਪਈ ਆ, ਹਨਾ. ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਆਪਣੇ ਤੇ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਕਿੰਨੀਆਂ ਐਫਰਟਸ ਪਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਅਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨਾ ਚਾਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ. ਲਾਈਕ ਮੰਮੀ ਨੂੰ ਕਾਫੀ ਰੋਕਦੇ ਸੀ, ਮੰਮੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨਹੀਂ ਮੈਂ ਕਰਨਾ. ਮੈਂ ਕਿਹਾ ਚਲੋ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੇ ਨਾਲ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਆ, ਕਰੋ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਕੰਮ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਐਡ ਕਰਦੀ ਆ. ਤੇ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਕੋਈ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਮਿਲਦਾ ਮੈਂ ਦੱਸਦੀ ਆ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ. ਤੇ ਸੁੱਖ ਨਾਲ, ਹਨਾ, ਮੰਮੀ ਦਾ ਕੰਮ ਜਦੋਂ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੁਰੂ ਕੀਤਾ ਮੰਮੀ ਵਿਹਲੇ ਇੱਕ ਦਿਨ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੋਏ ਹੈਗੇ. ਤੇ ਉਹ ਬਹੁਤ ਬੜਾ ਇੰਜੋਏ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਉਹ ਜਦੋਂ ਨੈਚੁਰਲੀ ਹੈ ਨਾ ਫਾਈਨੈਂਸ਼ੀਅਲੀ ਬੰਦੇ ਦੀ ਜੇਬ 'ਚ ਪੈਸੇ ਆਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਤਾਂ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਹੈਲਥ ਵੀ ਚੰਗੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ ਆ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਆ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਇੱਕ ਖੁਸ਼ੀ ਮਿਲਦੀ ਬੰਦੇ ਨੂੰ yeah
So true. You feel valued in the community, है ना? Yeah.
yeah
कि तुम्हारी आपकी एक skill है और उसको people are using, people are taking benefit of that skill, and it's wonderful that she keeps herself engaged that way. Very, very lovely.
ਹਾਂਜੀ ਥੈਂਕ ਯੂ ਲੋਕਾ ਜੀ
ਸੁਰਜੀਤ ਜੀ ਹੁਣ ਦੱਸੋ ਉਹ ਕਿੰਨਾ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ ਤੇ ਕੀ ਕੰਟੈਕਟ ਇਨਫੋਰਮੇਸ਼ਨ ਹੈ
ਉਹ ਵੈਸੇ ਨਾਰਮਲ ਸੂਟ ਦੇ $30 ਲੈਂਦੇ ਆ ਬਟ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਜੇ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਲਾਈਨਿੰਗ ਲਾ ਕੇ ਸਵਾਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹਨਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਚਾਰजेस ਡਬਲ ਵੀ ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਬਾਕੀ ਕੁਝ ਹੋਰ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਲਾਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਉਸ ਹਿਸਾਬ ਨਾਲ ਚਾਰजेस ਹੁੰਦੇ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਕੋਈ ਸਪੈਸ਼ਲ ਚੀਜ਼ ਲਵਾਉਣੀ ਹੁੰਦੀ ਆ ਸੂਟ ਤੇ ਬਾਕੀ ਉਹ ਕੁੜਤੇ ਪਜਾਮੇ ਵੀ ਸੀਂਦੇ ਆ ਬੰਦਿਆਂ ਵਾਲੇ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਕਾਫੀ ਕੁਝ ਕਰਦੇ ਆ ਮੰਮੀ ਕੋਈ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਸੂਟ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਖੁੱਲਾ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਹਨਾ ਉਹ ਵੀ ਕਰਾ ਸਕਦੇ ਹੋ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦਾ ਕਿੰਨੀ ਕੁ ਜਿੱਦਾਂ ਹੁਣ ਥੋੜਾ ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਆਈਡੀਆ ਦੇ ਦਿੰਨੀ ਆ ਹਨਾ ਆਪਾਂ ਨੇ ਸੂਟ ਖੁੱਲਾ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਜਾਂ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਾਉਣਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੇ ਉਹਨੂੰ ਉਧੇੜਨਾ ਪੈਂਦਾ ਉਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਬੜੀ ਨਿਗਾਹ ਲੱਗਦੀ ਆ ਵੀ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰ
I want to say something.
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤੰਗ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਤਾਂ ਮੌਕਾ ਹੀ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ
ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁਣ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੈਲਫ ਕੇਅਰ ਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਬੜਾ ਜ਼ੋਰ ਲਾਉਂਦੇ ਆ ਕਿ ਐਕਸਰਸਾਈਜ਼ ਕਰੋ ਮੌਕਾ ਆਊਗਾ
Now we have to join Isogenics and then
ਸਾਰਿਆਂ ਲਈ ਮੌਕਾ ਆਊਗਾ ਰੱਬ ਨੇ ਮੌਕਾ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਕਿ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਣੀਆਂ ਸਿਹਤਾਂ ਤੇ ਧਿਆਨ ਦਿਓ ਤੇ ਆਪਣੇ ਕਰੋ
ਹੈ ਨਾ ਹਫਸਾ ਜੀ
ਹਾਂਜੀ
ਤੰਗ ਕਰਾਉਣ ਦਾ ਮੌਕਾ ਨਹੀਂ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਤੰਗ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ ਬਹੁਤ ਆਉਂਦਾ ਹੈ
ਹੋਪ ਰੱਖੋ ਹੋ
मेरा पैशन है तंग कराना
तंग करना
ऐसी करनी शुरू की हुई है अब इसने तंग कराने अपने सूट और साथ में आइसोजेनिक्स की तरफ भी देखना है फिर तो और भी तंग होने
ਦੋਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਡਿਪੈਂਡ ਕਰਦੀਆਂ ਸਰਬਜੀਤ ਹਨਾ ਤੇ ਜਾਂ ਅਗੇਨ ਉਹੀ ਆ ਜਾਂਦੀ ਆ ਇੰਡੀਵਿਜੂਅਲ ਤੇ ਕਿ ਤੁਹਾਡੀ ਕੀ ਨੀਡ ਹੈਗੀ ਆ
jokes apart
yeah true
humor is very important healthy humor very important
yes
Absolutely. We have to laugh every day. Have
Yes.
to laugh every day.
Absolutely the other day we were having a session on parenting a brilliant session Uzma and Samina ji and Meeta ji was mediating it was brilliant and I had to unfortunately leave a little bit earlier but and it was quite brilliant and it was men men talking about parenting and so I was waiting कि मेरी turn आए तो मैं बोलूँ healthy humor घरों में बड़ा जरूरी है
yeah it is very important
everything it's very important in our times these times to है ना healthy humor की बड़ी जबरदस्त जरूरत है
हमारा वो सेशन YouTube पे है प्लीज सब देखें और अगर आज तक आप लोगों ने हमारा YouTube चैनल सब्सक्राइब नहीं किया लाइक इट सब्सक्राइब इट एंड वॉच इट
it's a very cool channel
जिसे मैंने कर दिया है
हाँ जी आप लोग तो करेंगे ही बाकी भी सब करेंगे
ये एंटरप्रेन्योरशिप का सेशन है sales में one of the things that you have to do sometimes even if the product is good for people they are not going to buy it so you have to push a little bit push so हम Malt and Women Council का channel भी push कर रहे हैं in addition to Isogenics and in addition to the products that
insurance
and the business that boys are doing and then theirs and Sehers थोड़ा push कर रहे हैं
Miss Aloka, but that is for non-for-profit.
क्या non-for-profit?
हमारा YouTube चैनल बाकी सब
हम भी अपना चैनल पुश कर रहे हैं अभी देखो
हाँ पुश कर रहे हैं
यहाँ पे everybody who's there is feeling passionately about the value that we all individually are adding to the community, but also, you know, how we are nourishing each other. And मेरे को तो फौजिया का वो ना phrase मैं हर बार use कर देती हूँ हर session में. क्या होता है फौजिया?
Arms locked.
Arms locked.
Arms locked. No
Arms
one.
locked.
Yeah, no one left
फौजिया
behind.
का नाम ले देती हूँ और बोलती हूँ कि भाई arms locked. हम अपने चैनल को भी इस स्पिरिट में सब्सक्राइब करें और औरों को भी बताएं ताकि और भी लोग देखें कि हाँ, we are one cool organization. The other day I was talking to Fawzia, and Fawzia, you know, gets around quite a bit. And we were talking about many different things, and she said, you know, Malton Women Council is my tribe, you know.
Absolutely.
तो ये बहुत बड़ा ऑनर है ना, जब जो एक one woman who goes out there and meets so many people in so many different ways, and then she feels, तो हम cool लोग हैं, है ना फौजी?
Yeah, you're cool people.
Double thumbs up. Absolutely.
So we all have to also not hesitate in sharing with other people our, you know, when we have a YouTube channel and we put every cool thing. Yeah, I would highly encourage this parenting thing, because ये उज़मा का आइडिया था कि आदमी 3 आदमी है, वो पेरेंट 4 आदमी है, and they have been a part of this all is well conversation, and they're very serious about this conversation in the WhatsApp group. And she has been trying to approach women, but you know, somehow women are not that active on that in that WhatsApp conversation. So she said, we are just going to have these 4 men do a parenting thing. And I said, Uzma, kya kar rahi hai tu? We meet so many women who are, you know, who are, our organization has quite a high percentage of women who are taking more responsibility about parenting than men. And now we do this panel discussion with 4 men. And then, no, we have to also have some women. And I was saying to her, Fawzia ko bulao, Fawzia is very eloquent. Fawzia ko bulao, Reva ko bulao, hai na? People like Anshu ko bulao. And she said, but Mrs. Aloka, all is well, Meena. This conversation is happening quite organically. And one of the things that is there about Women Council, we are organic. So I said, yeah. Go for it. And then मैं तो इतनी nervous थी, मैं usually मैं होती नहीं उस group में, मैं बैठी थी उस group में. Holy smokes, it blew my mind. Meeta was so good. Samina was so good. And Uzma to chup बैठी हुई थी, but I could see that इसने planning जरूर की हुई है. इतनी अच्छी वो थी. I highly recommend to everybody to go on YouTube and आज ही डालिए. और मैंने देखी है. Wow, hats off to Samina and hats off to Meeta and hats off to Uzma. The way they were so precise with these wonderful men, and you know, it is a very amazing conversation. Highly recommend everyone. And Narinder ji की भी बहुत कमाल की feedback थी उसमें.
Should I?
Narinder ji, एक मिनट. मिस अलोका, हम अब इस पे कमेंट करते, मेरे ख्याल में नरिंदर आंटी ने जाना है. समीना ने she nailed the session, जो sum up किए हैं एंड में, beautiful. नीता जी ने moderate किया है, वो सब आदमियों को, ठीक है.
Amazing. I highly recommend. मैं तो I was getting goosebumps कि ये क्या हो रहा है हमारी Women Council की उसमें, इतना अच्छा.
Loka, I was thinking, sometime since you're talking about YouTube, can I also do a session that goes on YouTube sometime?
हाँ, बिल्कुल.
Final approval idhar hai.
Yeah. And one more thing, I started an informational series on my YouTube as well. I'm doing it about marriage and I'm doing it about food.
ऐसा बोलो हानिया, मिर्जा लोका को समझ ही नहीं आ रहा क्या बोल रही.
I'm saying that I started an informational series on my
You
YouTube.
started an informational series about.
And that is about marriage education. That's one. Food is second, and third is customer
शादी तो
service.
तेरी हुई नहीं कुड़िए, मैरिज एजुकेशन तूने करनी है, चल कर.
That's what I'm doing. That's
ये
what
अपनी marketing करने आ गई है.
I just saw
बहुत
it.
अच्छी बात है, बहुत अच्छी बात है. ये बात है कि हन्या थोड़ा स्लो बोल, हाँ, you have to practice.
You will do definitely.
हाँ, पहले तूने मेरे सामने सेशन करना है, you know, 1-on-1, so that मेरे को समझ आएगा तो सबको समझ आ जाएगा. Yeah, but
I just saw it. Tell you that check it out, and also I want to do a session that goes on YouTube.
बिल्कुल ठीक बात है. Thank you. Very interesting.
Narinder auntie, you are the next presenter.
I think all of you will know me because I always come in the meeting. Actually, a few years ago, I had a lot of time and I was unable to understand what to do. So Uzma suggested me to do something, and I started knitting. I did a lot of knitting and I never knew what to do with these things. After some time, she called me on some program. I took my things and some of them were sold.
Oh, la la.
Yeah, and many things are still here. I can show you if anyone of you like to buy, you can order, you can see. Now there are not a lot of things, but I have so many. These are scarves and mostly wraps and ponchos.
So Narinder, you have to contact Sarab to make a page on Instagram, Facebook, one more page.
I made it on this WhatsApp.
Oh, very good, very good.
But I think
four places.
There are so many different types of
son who will help you. You can, contribute some money to him and he can help you.
Because these wraps are very beautiful. You see, I have done that like.
Oh, beautiful.
Many wraps are there. This is yellow color, pink color. This is light sky blue. And this can be used like this also, covering your heads.
And Narendra auntie ji, I will be more than happy to help you make a Facebook page, take pictures and post them. Actually, I'm going to appoint my little one to do that for you.
Yes.
If you would want help, he will be there to help you.
How?
ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਸੀਂ ਉੱਤੇ ਤੇ ਜਾ ਕੇ ਵੇਚ ਸਕਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਫੇਸਬੁੱਕ ਤੋਂ ਲੋਕੀ ਆਰਡਰ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ ਆ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਪਿਕਅਪ ਜਾਂ ਡਿਲੀਵਰੀ ਦੇ ਫਿਰ ਅਕੋਰਡਿੰਗਲੀ ਚਾਰਜ ਕਰ ਸਕਦੇ.
ਨਹੀਂ, I made this page on this Facebook.
Oh, great.
Sometime I removed. I said,
your old son of Sarabjit can help you make it better or something.
Okay.
Yeah.
How your son can help me?
ਉਹ ਅਸੀਂ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਮੈਨੂੰ ਕਾਲ ਕਰ ਲਿਓ, ਹੈ ਨਾ, ਮੈਂ ਆਪਣਾ ਨੰਬਰ ਇਹਦੇ ਤੇ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਹੁਣੇ ਗਰੁੱਪ 'ਚ ਦੁਬਾਰਾ ਪਾ ਦਿੰਨੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਫਿਰ ਤੁਸੀਂ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਿਲ ਲਾਂਗੇ ਤੇ ਕਰ ਲਾਂਗੇ.
ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਜਲਦੀ ਕਰ ਲਿਓ ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਵੇਚ ਦਿੱਤਾ ਤੇ ਵੀ ਆਰ ਮੂਵਿੰਗ ਫਰਮ ਹੇਅਰ.
ਠੀਕ ਆ ਜੀ, ਕੋਈ ਗੱਲ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੈਂ ਤੁਹਾਨੂੰ ਛੇਤੀ ਕੀ ਮੈਂ ਅੱਜ ਹੀ ਪਾ ਦਿੰਨੀ ਆ ਤੇ ਓਵਰ ਦਾ ਵੀਕਐਂਡ ਤੇ ਨਹੀਂ, ਮੰਡੇ ਟਿਊਜ਼ਡੇ ਨੂੰ ਆਪਾਂ ਮਿਲ ਲਾਂਗੇ.
ਹਾਂ, ਮੰਡੇ ਟਿਊਜ਼ਡੇ ਯੂ ਕੈਨ ਕਮ.
ਠੀਕ ਹੈ ਜੀ, ਹਾਂ ਜੀ, ਕੋਈ ਨਹੀਂ. Sorry, ਮੈਨੂੰ ਹੁਣ ਜਾਣਾ ਪੈਣਾ. Bye everybody. It was really nice having to talk to everybody. So let me know if I can be of any help to anybody, irrespective of whatever it is.
Nice of
if
you.
I'll be there, I'll be helping.
जाते जाते सरब देख लो, ये मीता जी भी बिजनेस कर रही हैं इसका.
अच्छा, हाँ जी, हाँ जी, मीता.
Mask. You made masks? On karo, on karo.
Unmute.
Mita ji, unmute please.
हेलो एवरीवन, सत श्री अकाल, नमस्कार, आदाब। सो नहीं, मैं बनांदी नहीं हाँ। एक्चुअली कोविड ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਅਸੀਂ ਇਹ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕੀਤੀ। ਅਸੀਂ ਇੰਡੀਆ ਤੋਂ ਬੜਾ ਸਾਰਾ ਸਮਾਨ ਮੰਗਵਾਇਆ ਹੈ। ਉਹਨਾਂ ਵਿੱਚ ਮੈਂ ਜਾਣ ਕੇ ਪਾਇਆ ਹੋਇਆ ਹੈ। that is why I'm wearing this ਇੱਕ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਰ ਮਾਸਕ ਹੈ। एक्चुअली we started ਕਿ ਅਸੀਂ ਸੋਚਿਆ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਰ ਮਾਸਕ ਤੋਂ ਸਟਾਰਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਹਾਂ, ਬਟ ਕਰਦੇ ਕਰਦੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਫਿਰ ਬਹੁਤ ਸਾਰਾ ਹੀ ਸਮਾਨ ਮੰਗਵਾ ਲਿਆ ਕਿਉਂਕਿ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਫਿਰ ਕਾਸਟ ਆਫ ਗੈਟਿੰਗ ਦੋਸ ਥਿੰਗਸ ਕਾਫੀ ਪੈ ਰਹੀ ਸੀ। ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਵਿੱਚ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਜਿਹੜੀਆਂ ਮਿਟਨਸ ਹੈ, ਏਪਰਨਸ ਹੈ, ਮੈਚਿੰਗ ਮਾਸਕ ਤੇ ਮੈਚਿੰਗ ਸਕਾਰਫਸ ਹੈ, ਪੂਰੇ ਸੈੱਟ ਹੈ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ। ਬੈਗਸ ਹੈ ਬੜੇ ਸਮਾਰਟ, ਬੈਗ ਦੇ ਨਾਲ ਦਾ ਸਕਾਰਫ ਵੀ ਹੈ। ਐਂਡ ਲੈਪਟਾਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਲੀਵਸ ਹੈ, ਛੋਟੇ ਲੈਪਟਾਪ ਦੀਆਂ ਔਰ ਵੱਡੇ ਲੈਪਟਾਪ ਦੀਆਂ। ਔਰ ਸਾਡੇ ਕੋਲ ਕੀ ਕਹਿੰਦੇ ਨੇ ਮੈਟਸ ਹੈ, ਟੇਬਲ ਮੈਟਸ, ਕੋਸਟਰਸ, ਬੜੇ ਸਮਾਰਟ ਕੋਸਟਰਸ ਹੈ ਦੇਣਾ ਨਵੀ, ਬੜੇ ਸਮਾਰਟ ਕੋਸਟਰਸ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਐਕਚੁਅਲੀ ਕੀ ਹੋਇਆ ਕਿ ਕੋਵਿਡ ਦੇ ਦੌਰਾਨ ਨਾ ਮੇਰੇ ਤਿੰਨ ਬੱਚਿਆਂ ਦੀਆਂ ਜੌਬਸ ਚਲੀਆਂ ਗਈਆਂ ਸੀ। तो चलिया गई इन द सेंस के मतलब टेम्परेरीली वापस से चलो धीरे धीरे हो रहा है सब कुछ, बट वी थॉट कि ऐसे चलो कुछ खाली बैठे हैं तो बिजनेस कर लेने हैं। बहुत ज़्यादा टाइम नहीं होया। मेरे बच्चे दे केम हेयर इन कैनेडा इन जनवरी 18 2018 जनवरी ਚ ਆਏ ਸੀਗੇ। ਤੇ ਆਈਟੀ ਵਾਲੇ ਬੱਚੇ ਨੇ, ਬਟ ਉਹਨਾਂ ਨੂੰ ਇਹਨਾਂ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਦਾ ਸ਼ੌਂਕ ਹੈ, ਨਵੇਂ ਕੰਮ ਕਰਨ ਦਾ, ਅੱਛੀ ਚੀਜ਼ਾਂ ਮੰਗਾ ਕੇ ਉਹ ਟ੍ਰੇਡਿੰਗ ਕਰਨਾ ਪਸੰਦ ਕਰਦੇ ਨੇ। ਤੇ ਹੋਰ ਪ੍ਰੋਡਕਟਸ ਵੀ ਅਸੀਂ ਤਾਂ ਮੰਗਾਵਾਂਗੇ ਕਿ ਜੇ ਸਾਨੂੰ ਰਿਸਪੌਂਸ ਆਂਦਾ। ਤੇ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਬੜੇ ਕਲਾਸਿਕ ਹੈ, ਬੜੇ ਜਿਵੇਂ ਯੂਥ ਓਰੀਐਂਟਡ ਔਰ ਬਿਲਕੁਲ ਮਾਡਰਨ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਹੈ। ਸੋ ਮੈਂ ਸ਼ੇਅਰ ਕਰਦੀ ਰਹਿੰਦੀ।
ਔਰ ਪੋਸਟਰ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਬਣਿਆ ਕਿਸ ਚੀਜ਼ ਦਾ ਹੈ? ਨਹੀਂ,
ਇਹ ਉਹਦਾ ਹੈ ਕਾਰਡਬੋਰਡ ਦਾ ਜਿਹੜਾ ਹੁੰਦਾ ਹੈ, ਪ੍ਰੋਪਰ ਹੈ, ਅਸੀਂ ਘਰ ਯੂਜ਼ ਕਰ ਰਹੇ ਹਾਂ। ਠੀਕ ਹੈ, ਅੱਛੀ ਤਰ੍ਹਾਂ ਬਣਿਆ। ਇਹ ਨੀਆ ਡਿਜ਼ਾਈਨਸ ਲਿਖਿਆ ਹੈ, ਦੇਖੋ।
Very good.
This is how we are doing the branding thing. Nia Designs is the name. Ashnia ਮੇਰੀ ਬੇਬੀ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ ਹੈ ਤੇ ਉਹਦੇ ਨਾਮ ਤੇ ਅਸੀਂ ਰੱਖਿਆ ਹੈ ਦਾ ਨਾਮ। So Nia Designs on Facebook, Instagram, and the website is called www.niatracebit.com. Say मैं niatradebiz.com. I'm being prompted by my children.
Put this in the chat.
Yeah, I've put it in the chat. Already in the chat. Already in the chat. Nia Designs, Facebook, Instagram, and website is also there. So you can always visit our pages and look for beautiful products. And the quality of the products is really good because in mask they have a N95 filter, which could not be publicized because of some legal reasons in Canada. But it is hega. So very comfortable mask. You can wear it for throughout the day. Sorry?
नीता जी,
हाँ
सेट की
जी।
प्राइस क्या है और खाली मास्क?
प्राइस मैं आपको व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में लिख दूंगी सारे, क्योंकि हर आइटम की अलग अलग प्राइसिंग है ना। So I'll definitely share the prices and everything again in the WhatsApp group. I've been sharing, I'll share again any number of times because तो उसमें हम थोड़ा सा डिस्काउंट भी करते हैं। जैसे कि कुछ अगर आप 2 प्रोडक्ट्स लेते हैं, 3 प्रोडक्ट्स लेते हैं, तो क्या है वो पूरा एक बनाया हुआ है सिस्टम इन्होंने बच्चों ने, तो वो मैं शेयर कर लूंगी आपके साथ, ठीक है। सो ये जी आलोका जी।
हाँ, मैंने ही कहना था कि उज़मा के साथ ये बात है कि remember when we were wanting to make a website, so we were thinking that we should have in the website one circle, because our website, if you all have seen the website, उसमें circles में होता है क्योंकि हम circles में बहुत विश्वास करते हैं. So one circle was to be entrepreneurs. So it would be so cool to have like Fauzia's entrepreneurship pursuit or whatever, and she can say what she wants to say, and then for more information, when it comes to how the money is made and so on, that can be done. And then Sarabjeet का भी जो भी है ना, and Meeta ji, मतलब we can have very detailed, because these are amazing products like Sahar collaborating with Lahore, Haath Ka Kaam. This is so cool, you know. And Narinder ji's everything can be there. कि वो जो क्या है वो wrap, उसको इतने पैसे है, so you don't have to call, you know, it's all there.
Very good.
And एक पता करो कि कैसे हम फंडिंग अप्लाई कर सकते हैं कि somebody can get a job to connect to, like they have to put Fauzia's material properly in the mwc.community, and उसमें पैसे वैसे सब कुछ मतलब आना चाहिए. जैसे नरेंद्र जी की जो भी इंफॉर्मेशन है उसको अच्छी तरह से लिखा जाए ताकि you know we can just, we don't have to call her, we just go and कुछ करो इसका. मेरा सपना इतना जबरदस्त साकार हो रहा है, इसको ठीक करो पूरा सा.
एक मिनट मैं इसमें ऐड कर दूं, एक सेकेंड, एक छोटी सी उस्मा, आपने तो बोलना ही है, आपने तो लुका जी की बात का बेसिकली मैं आपको बताती हूँ, जैसे कि मैं मॉल्टन विमेन काउंसिल के साथ अटैच्ड हूँ, अटैच इज द राइट वर्ड, अटैचमेंट भी है और अटैच तो हुई.
I thought you were adopted in the circle.
I am Mॉल्टन विमेन काउंसिल, so what I attachment मतलब दिल की बात कर रही हूँ मैं, हार्ट एंड माइंड एंड सोल. तो मेरा मतलब कहने का ये है कि मैंने एक्चुअली अब अपने बच्चों से ये टेक ओवर कर लिया है कि I'll do it, क्योंकि वो तो मसरूफ हो गए हैं, बिजी हो गए हैं बहुत ज्यादा, तो मैं आई एम गोइंग टू डू इट. तो मैं क्या, हम हैं मॉल्टन विमेन काउंसिल में, कर देंगे इसको चुप के फटे और सब कार्यक्रम. ना उस्मा, मैं म्यूट करती हूँ. थैंक यू.
ओके, सो मिस आलोका, लास्ट टाइम आप कब गई थी हमारे वेबसाइट पे?
जाती रहती हूँ फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम, पर ये इतनी बड़ी वेबसाइट है, मतलब हर वक्त सारी तो देखी नहीं जाती है.
ओके,
आई डेफिनेटली मॉल्टन वुमेन काम्स, वुमेन ऑफ द वीक जब आती है तो मैं जरूर देखती हूँ कि वो उसमें पहुंच गई है, यू नो. तो इस तरह से या कई चीजें मैं देखती रहती हूँ फ्रॉम टाइम टू टाइम.
तो मैं 2-3 चीजें शेयर करना चाहूंगी. अगर आप लोगों को याद हो, just recall a few months back I asked everybody to send their business information, and preference will be given to our members who filled the membership form. And repeatedly I said, and only a few people they send us.
हाँ, पर कोविड के में सब लोग बड़े क्लोज आ गए हैं अब, है ना. अब बोलो.
मैंने कोविड में ही डाला था क्योंकि हम काम कर रहे थे. अगर आपको पता हो तो we have volunteers for our media team right now. कोई paid staff नहीं है, and they are working 24/7 इस वक्त, हर चीज के लिए कर रहे हैं. अगर आप हमारी वेबसाइट देखें, उसमें एक कॉर्नर है, अनफॉर्चुनेटली लोग देखते नहीं है.
कहाँ पे है? सर्विसेज में कि कहाँ पे?
अभी लेट मी शेयर. और हमारे पास जैसे अभी आप कह रही थी नरिंदर आंटी का है, कोई लिख दे कुछ. वी डू हैव सहर, शी इज अ कंटेंट राइटर. सो जब तक तो फंडिंग नहीं है, हमें वॉलंटियर्स चाहिए. और जस्ट अटेंडिंग अ सेशन और व्हाट्सएप में messages डालना is not volunteer hours. We need people who are assigned to do something. So आप लोग आगे आए, कहें कि हाँ मैं ये करती हूँ, मैं ये करती हूँ. It's not easy to coordinate with everybody. I cannot go to everyone, every businesswoman, okay, send me. This is your duty to connect with us. मैं तो मैसेज भेजती रहती हूँ, मैंने अपना काम करना है. अब आप लोगों का भी तो काम है ना कि सब करें, मिलके करें. जैसे मेरी अभी अंशु से बात हो रही थी, सो अंशु विल बी असाइंड टू कनेक्ट विद दोज विमेन एंड दे विल सेंड. अब मेरी मार्केटिंग का टाइम शुरू हो गया, ठीक है. हमारी 2021 की मेंबरशिप ओपन है। आप लोग मेरे कुछ लोग जो हैं बोर्ड वाले, वो तो कह रहे हैं कि हाँ फ्लैट रेट इतना रख दो, क्योंकि अब इतनी वैल्यू है हमारे, हर वीक प्रोग्राम्स हो रहे हैं। वी आर गिविंग अ बिग प्लेटफॉर्म टू एवरीवन, बट वी आर थिंकिंग फ्लैट रेट $25 फॉर 1 ईयर। फाइनल आपको पता चल जाएगा, क्योंकि मेरी अभी बोर्ड के साथ एक मीटिंग होनी है। देन आई विल गेट बैक टू यू। आवर प्रेफरेंस विल बी गिवन टू आवर मेंबर्स। ये मैं बार बार कहूंगी, क्योंकि हमारे मेंबर्स बहुत कम है। 90 मेंबर्स हैं हमारे व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में। जब अगर हम वैसे जो हमें अपने स्टैट्स देने हैं, we have hardly 15 to 20 people. Need to work on our membership as well. Okay, and let me share that link. Meanwhile, Raminder ji, would you like to show? आपने बताना अपने बिजनेस के बारे में।
नहीं,
क्या कहती हैं?
नहीं, उन्होंने नहीं बताना।
म्यूट की।
नहीं, वो नहीं अभी बता सकती, बट शी इज प्रेजेंट टू अदर पीपल शेयरिंग अबाउट देयर बिजनेस।
जी मीता जी।
मुझे एक्चुअली अप्रोच भी किया गया है दिल्ली से। मेरी फैमिली है, अपने कजन्स हैं जो इनका सूट्स का बिजनेस करते हैं, मटेरियल का, ड्रेस मटेरियल का उनका बिजनेस है। ऑनलाइन भी करते रहते हैं। वैसे उनका अपने स्टोर्स हैं। तो they were like, when they see my pictures and everything on Facebook, and my, like, when you go live on Facebook and me participating, तो उनको लगता है कि बुआ ने पता नहीं क्या बहुत बड़ा एक, पता नहीं क्या, मतलब बुआ का सर्कल बहुत बड़ा बन चुका है वहाँ पे। तो दे हैव अप्रोच मी कि बुआ आप हमारे ड्रेसेस भी अब हमारे ड्रेस मटेरियल की भी ट्रेडिंग कर सकते हो अगर आप चाहो तो। तो आई वाज जस्ट थिंकिंग ऑन दैट ऑल्सो। तो मैं वो निया में उसमें डालूंगी, उनके ब्लॉग मंगा के ना चीजें ऑलरेडी आई हैव गॉट, तो मैं उसमें शेयर करूंगी निया के उसमें। या
जरूर करो।
तो अगर आप देखें, कैन यू सी माय स्क्रीन?
यस यस यस।
तो इट इज देयर।
कहाँ? ओके, आई लुक।
Beyond Care Insurance Solutions, Cityscape Real Estate, KNY, Noor Legal Services, Passion Tutorial, Red Brick Pathways। ये वो लोग हैं जिन्होंने हमें भेजे थे तब। It is there. प्लीज हमारी वेबसाइट को विजिट करें, प्रोमोट करें, हमारे चैनल को प्रोमोट करें। हमारा न्यूज़लेटर आएगा, जिसको भेज सकते हैं पूरी दुनिया में आप भेजिए। So it is there. Thank you for the suggestions.
हाँ, मैं सोच रही थी कि अभी तो ये है ना, जैसे पैशन ट्यूटोरियल्स, यू कांटेक्ट दिस पर्सन। मैं ये सोच रही थी कि जैसे और ये तभी हो सकता है कि जब कोई असाइन किया जाए किसी को, कि जैसे अगर जैसे नरेंद्र जी जो बनाया है, उनकी तस्वीरें कितने पैसे की है, क्या है, सो और जिग्ना है ना, जिग्ना की चीजें, फौजिया की जो भी है, मीता जी का जो भी है, मतलब वहां पे क्लिक करो, सारा डिटेल आ जाए। ऐसा कुछ सोच रही थी कि अगर हमें फंडिंग मिले किसी और, वन ऑफ द वुमेन कैन।
जी, हम अप्लाई कर रहे हैं फंडिंग्स, वी आर अप्लाइंग फंडिंग्स। और सुरजीत जी ने यहाँ बात की है सोशल एंटरप्राइज की, सो वी आर ब्रिंगिंग सोशल एंटरप्राइज। जस्ट वेट, सब कुछ अप्रूव्ड है, वी आर जस्ट वेटिंग फॉर फाइनल थिंग्स। मैं आपको एक एग्जांपल देती हूँ वुमेन ऑफ द वीक की। वी डोंट हैव अ डेडिकेटेड पर्सन जो वुमेन ऑफ द वीक के साथ कांटेक्ट करे, इंफॉर्मेशन ले, हमें लिख के दे और हम आगे करें।
आई नो,
मैं अपनी जॉब में बिजी हूँ, बट आई एम ट्राइंग माय बेस्ट। अनु इज डूइंग अ लॉट एंड शी इज, ये उसका पैशन है कि नहीं, वुमेन ऑफ द वीक होना चाहिए। So उसके लिए मैं विद्या को सोच रही थी कि विद्या को असाइन करूंगी, क्योंकि हमारे बोर्ड मेंबर्स दे आर वेरी पैशनेट टू डू समथिंग।
they are
और विद्या को बताऊंगी कि किस तरह क्या करना है। अब वो मॉडल है जिसमें हमने सबको ट्रेन करना है, किसने क्या करना है आगे, उनको असाइन करना है। So I'm starting with all the board members. They will come back to you, or they will come back to you for membership as well.
Absolutely.
We need that.
Yeah, totally.
Thank you, Vidya. आप लोगों के पास तो ऑप्शन ही कोई नहीं है। ठीक है, वो जो मुझे फोन आता है ना, उसमें बच्ची बताओ मैं क्या करूं, तो वो आप लोगों को बिजी रखना बहुत जरूरी है, और इसमें हमें हेल्प भी चाहिए। It's not just के ये हवा में हो रहे हैं काम। न्यूज़ लेटर हमारा आने वाला है, उस पे कितनी मेहनत हुई है। हमारे एक फ्लायर पे, हफ्सा आर यू देयर? हफ्सा आर यू देयर?
फिश खा रही थी।
हाँ, कैन यू शेयर कि एक उस पे कितनी मेहनत होती है फ्लायर पे?
अल्लाह अकबर।
बैक एंड फोर्थ कहाँ वो अलाइन नहीं है, कहाँ वो डॉट इधर का उधर हो गया है। इट्स नॉट 5 मिनट में, अगले कहते हैं वो 5 मिनट में कर लेगी।
नहीं, कोई नहीं ये सोच रहा।
स्टार्टिंग में तो आपका दिन गया।
The quality of work that we do is वो कोई नहीं यहाँ पे सोच रहा। Raise your hands if you are thinking that it's one of the best quality for everything.
So that should be.
For everything, छोटी से
everything,
बड़ी से बड़ी चीज।
It's not easy to maintain that standard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, no doubt.
मैं again, I'm repeating it. 8 hours of my job and 10 hours of volunteer work for Malton Women Council. It's not easy. It's not easy. And we need everybody. हमारा IT, हमारा परमिंदर, hats off to him. जिस तरह वो हमारी सारी वीडियोस टाइमली YouTube पे ला रहा है, उसको एडिट करना होता है। हमारे पास अभी वो पैसे नहीं जिससे हम सॉफ्टवेयर खरीद सकें। We need that money for that high-end things, because we are producing high-end. All the things are very high-end. We need that money. Unfortunately, we don't have it. और उसको हम थोड़ा से IT के लिए we paid him, I think 1/3, और बाकी not even 1/3, और बाकी उसको कहते हैं परमिंदर यार ये भी करना है, वो खुद ही कर देता है। It's not easy, believe me. और I'm so grateful. अंशु हमेशा पूछती रहती है कि बताओ कहाँ क्या हेल्प चाहिए। हफ्जा को अभी मैं देख रही थी वो बैक एंड फोर्थ कन्वर्सेशन, उसमें अगर हफ्जा के 5 घंटे लग रहे हैं तो आप यकीन करें जो उसको बता रहा है, जो वो सारा कुछ कर रहा है, उसके भी तो आवर्स जा रहे हैं। कलेक्टिवली हमारे आवर्स एंड आवर्स लग रहे हैं मॉल्टन विमेन काउंसिल को उस स्टैंडर्ड पे लाने के लिए। आई एम सॉरी, मैं हर वक्त तकरीर करने को तैयार होती हूँ, बिकॉज दिस इज द रियलिटी जिससे हम गुजर रहे हैं। इट्स वेरी इजी टू से कैन यू डू दिस, बिहाइंड दिस टू डूइंग दैट। आज के सेशन के लिए I didn't have anybody who was ready to take a lead for this session. Technically ये मेरा सेशन नहीं था, ठीक है। और फिर उनको सबको करना, कौन कौन नए लोग, क्योंकि अगर नए लोग नहीं हमारे साथ जुड़ेंगे तो हम आगे कैसे बढ़ेंगे। हमें वो भी ढूंढने, उनको भी लेके आना है, उनसे कांटेक्ट करना, कहाँ से किसको लेके आना है, उस टाइम का सारा कुछ करना। उधर जबरदस्त हमारे वो गाने चल रहे थे कल, वो उस स्पिरिट को
कम करो। ये तो मैं तेरे को ये इसलिए बता रही हूँ कि किसी को ये
बताइए क्या कम।
somebody you know if there is some funding for this kind of thing, पर कम करो। तुम तो पागलों की तरह काम करती है। ऑर्गेनाइजेशन जो रोज सेशन करती है,
आप ख्वाब देखना छोड़ दीजिए, मैं काम कम कर देती हूँ। I am very clear on that. मेरे सामने मत कोई कहे कि ये करना।
Usma, I have something that can help you with stress and energy levels.
Sorry?
I have something that can help you with stress and energy levels.
No, I love my stress. I love my stress. I take that stress as my energy to do something. I look forward, right? And it's not just in Malton Women Council. I'm giving my best at my work as well.
In life.
It's Alhamdulillah. Alhamdulillah.
बहुत मजा आता है. I agree with Uzma.
Yeah, stress is a great motivator.
Yeah, it is.
तो सब कुछ भूल जाते हैं और जब हम उस चीज से उठते हैं तो कुछ करके उठते हैं कि हाँ जी कुछ लर्न किया है।
Yeah, you're absolutely right, Hafsa. Stress.
जो था ऑलवेज मैं सेल फोन पे
बहुत
बनाया,
motivation
डेस्कटॉप
मिलती
पे या मैकबुक पे, कंप्यूटर लैपटॉप पे नहीं कभी बनाया। अब कुछ उसमें आ रही थी, सेल फोन पे नहीं हो रहा था। मेरा बन चुका हुआ था। अगेन मैंने फर्स्ट टाइम डेस्कटॉप पे बनाया जो कमिंग सेशन के लिए। दिस टेक अ लॉन्ग टाइम बट फाइनली आई लर्न। एक चीज पे मैं स्टक हो गई थी तो वो उसको फाइंड आउट किया, तो मतलब 5 घंटे अगर 6 घंटे जितना भी दिन लगाया तो कुछ करके ही उठे, सीख के उठे। ये
and that's the spirit, to learn every day, to learn.
Yeah.
And Ms. Aloka, when we talk about fundings, are we ready? क्योंकि फंडर ने ये नहीं देखना है, अभी तो हमारे छोटे प्रोजेक्ट्स हैं कि आप कितने प्रोफेशनली ट्रेंड हो। अगर हमारा सारा वक्त अपने एम्प्लॉयज को ट्रेनिंग में गुजरेगा तो हम प्रोजेक्ट कब करेंगे? We have deliverables because I think some of our employees, they know it's a game of numbers now. We have to prove that. It's not okay जी दिल किया इसको सिर्फ सर्व करना इसको नहीं करना। No, we have to show those numbers. अब तो गेम और हो गई है ये। मैं कहती थी मिस अलोका, इफ यू रिमेंबर जब आप फंडिंग की बात करती थी, आई सेड अगर फंडिंग जिस दिन आ गई हमारा बहुत सा मॉडल चेंज हो जाएगा, बिकॉज वी नीड टू रिपोर्ट देम बैक। They are evaluating us. From one funding, we will create 4 fundings. And this is what we are working on. But we need those skillful people as well. We need to provide those trainings. Now, what we are working to bring those mentors like Fausia, who can coach our people. We will bring people like Sarabjeet, who will be teaching us. हमें वो चाहिए जो right skills दे सकें। अगर आप अपने रेज्यूमे में लिख रहे हो यू आर वेरी गुड इन MS ऑफिस और प्रैक्टिकली वी आर नॉट सीइंग दैट, सो वी आर नॉट आस्किंग यू कि आपने गलत लिखा था रेज्यूमे में। वी आर रिक्वेस्टिंग यू प्रूव इट, लर्न इट एट योर ओन पेस, बट डू इट प्लीज। क्योंकि कल को जब हम लोगों ने, अगर हमें कोई ऐसी फंडिंग मिल गई जिसमें आप सबको हम हायर कर सके, तो आप ये सोचो कि हम लोगों का टाइम कितना लगेगा आप लोगों को सिखाने में। So if you are writing anything in your resume, please make sure that you are writing the best. You know it what you are writing.
Absolutely.
Thank you जी, मैं चुप कर रही हूँ, बहुत बोल लिया।
अभी जिग्ना का रह गया है सुनना।
और मैं थोड़ा सा नरेंद्र आंटी, आपके पास तो वो रैप है, मेरे पास ये वाला रैप है, मैं थोड़ा खा भी लूँ।
हाँ, खाओ।
फिर समीना पूछेगी आज कहाँ से, तो समीना आज बामियान कबाब का जो बड़ी देर से ठंडा हो चुका है मेरे पास।
तो उसमें बोलो ना जिग्ना का रह गया है।
हाँ जी जिग्ना।
मैं ग्रिल फिश, जुकीनी, ऑनियन ग्रिल किया सारा।
ठीक है जी। अब हमारी जिग्ना जो है वो जिग्ना आप इसमें भी शो करोगे और इसमें इतना क्लियर नहीं आता, प्लीज सबके पिक्चर्स भेजो, पिक्चर्स भी भेजो।
कोई फिश खा रहा है, कोई वो दूसरी चीज खा रहा है, हम क्या खाएं?
दिमाग भी खा रही मैं तो सबका। मोहिनी आंटी मैं कहाँ चुप होने वाली हूँ।
वो रैप खा रही है, वो फिश खा रही है, और बोलो हमें क्यों बता रहे हो कि हमें भी तो भूख लगी, हमने तो डिनर नहीं किया अभी।
देखो
हमने आपको खुश किया है।
कौन चली गई? ये
Jigna, you are muted. Good.
Yeah. I send you my picture on WhatsApp group, so it's clearly you show which, what things is it and how my work, right?
अब यहाँ सभी हिंदी उर्दू जानने वाले हैं, तुम चाहो तो अंग्रेजी में बोलो पर हिंदी उर्दू में भी बोल सकती हो।
अच्छा, मैं मेरी जो ज्वेलरी का डिजाइन और जो रंगोली की डिजाइन्स है वो मैं व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में सेंड कर दूंगी। जिससे वो अच्छी तरह से आप लोगों को पिक्चर्स में दिखे कि वो कौन क्या थिंग है और कैसे बनाया हुआ है। अभी मैं इसके ऊपर दिखाऊंगी तो कुछ बड़ा परफेक्टली नहीं दिखेगा। वो तो मैं व्हाट्सएप ग्रुप में वो सारे
थोड़ा
पिक्चर्स
तो दिखाना है ऐसे करके।
ऊंचा करके दिखा दें।
अभी देखो ये ऑर्डर की थी, इसको 2 कलर में चाहिए तो ऐसे मैंने बनाई है, इसके ऊपर वर्क होगा। ये 2 कलर में मैंने बनाई है। अभी इसके ऊपर मोती वाला और जो उन्होंने डिजाइन सिलेक्ट की है वो ऐसा वर्क होगा। ये है।
तो ये कितने का है जिग्ना?
ये $8 का।
$8 का। वेरी नाइस।
बहुत अच्छा है।
ये भी सुंदर। ओह माय
ये
गॉड,
बहुत प्यारे हैं।
ये कितने का है बताओ?
5
What?
$5।
इसको बोला था पिछली बार थोड़ा इसको आगे थोड़ा इसकी इंक्रीज करो प्राइस।
हाँ सही है।
$5 का नहीं होना चाहिए, ये थोड़ा ज्यादा होना चाहिए।
Are you making them and designing them yourself?
Yeah.
Wow. You should charge more than that.
Yeah, you should.
You should charge more than that.
नहीं बोलो इसको।
Save the black one for me, Jigna.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, your work is beautiful.
And she can custom make it for the color you want, right?
Yeah, that's
Which one? Any colors if you want.
जिग्ना तुम $5 से $10 करो इसको।
बहुत सुंदर है जिग्ना जी। Very nice.
Yeah, like I'm thinking 8.
Isn't it too reasonable?
It's too much. $8 और कितना वक्त आपका लगता है इसको बनाने में? Like so much time you have to think that too, right? अपने time का भी value होना चाहिए।
हाँ। ये एक फौजिया के साथ सेशन करो कि कैसे pricing करना है।
I have one like that. I think I came for some event, वहां से मैंने तुमसे लिया था।
So
कितना
traditional.
ये जिग्ना इतना सुंदर?
बहुत सुंदर है।
वो रंगोली ना।
ये माला कितने का है जो समीना ने खरीदा था?
$10 की होगी।
I think $10 का था। उसके साथ छोटे छोटे इयरिंग्स भी थे।
Yeah, I think you need to increase your prices. I'm sorry to everyone, but that's too affordable.
ये क्या है?
It looks like आपको नुकसान हो रहा होगा।
रंगोली है।
अच्छा अच्छा।
Hi Riva.
रंगोली का पिक्चर्स है। जो वो दिवाली पे
हेलो
नीचे टेबल के ऊपर वगैरह है रखता है।
बहुत ब्यूटीफुल है।
तो ये रंगोली कितने का है?
ये 15 ये इसमें क्या है कि इसके ये इसके ऊपर होती है। 8 की होती है तो 20 की होती है, ये 15 की है, 6 की है, ये इतने पीसेस के ऊपर।
अभी तुम थोड़ा फौजिया के साथ देखो कि कितना टाइम लगता है प्लस कितना मटेरियल है, तुम लॉस में तो नहीं
यूज क्या है ये?
love this. This is
मैं पिक्चर्स भेजूंगी तो उसमें आपको दिखेगा कि कैसे अरेंज करके रखना होता है।
ये अलग अलग पीसेस को जोड़ना होता है रंगोली में।
हाँ या
ऐसे पीसेस होते हैं, देन
ये शेप बन जाएगी ना, ये शेप बन जाएगी, कोई भी शेप का पीसेस होंगे।
रंगोली पैटर्न्स आउट ऑफ दैट।
So I'm going to say for Jigna's business, Jigna is going to usually when she puts her photograph of her jhumka, then she puts a price, huh? If you feel it's a little bit worth more than, don't hesitate to give her more.
ये जैसे बच्चों का जिग्सॉ पजल होते हैं ना, वैसे वो ये पीसेस बनते हैं।
हाँ, ये ऐसे पीसेस के।
I like this rangoli patterns. Yeah.
So pretty.
I know.
Very pretty.
Yeah.
Wow, that is beautiful. बहुत प्यारा है।
बहुत सुंदर, वेरी नाइस।
ये ग्लू करते हैं,
सॉरी,
ये स्टिक होते हैं, स्टिक करते हैं, या ऐसे इनको अरेंज ही करना होता है?
Can you Jigna show one piece again, please? No, the piece.
या
प्लीज ऐसे ही रखना होता है उसे।
या ऐसे ही रखना होता है।
अच्छा,
आप डिफरेंट डिफरेंट डिजाइन करके रख सकते हो, जैसे डेली आप चेंज कर सकते हो। डिजाइन ऐसे रखी है तो फिर थोड़ी सी चेंज करके अलग बना सकते हो, उसका ऐसे मोड़ के ऐसा बना सकते हो, ऐसे करके कुछ भी करके आप कोई भी डिजाइन अरेंज कर सकते हो। ये एक में से 3 या 4 बनती
अगर
है।
आप चाहो तो डाइनिंग टेबल या फिर कहीं वॉल पे आप स्टिक करके परमानेंट भी कर सकते हो। इट्स टोटली अप टू यू।
आई थिंक वॉल पे तो मुझे नहीं मालूम इतना, पर डाइनिंग टेबल पे या टेबल के इसके ऊपर कर सकते हो, आप टेबल पे रख सकते हो।
नहीं ये आप वॉल पे भी स्टिक करके आर्ट बन जाता है, डिफरेंट पीकॉक
Right.
बना सकते हैं जैसे भी।
ये मैंने बनाया हुआ है, ये पीकॉक की है।
Yeah.
Oh wow, that is so beautiful.
Yeah, so pretty.
Beautiful, so
बहुत जबरदस्त है।
ये एक एक बीड आप खुद लगाती है? I'm trying to wrap my head around this. आप एक एक बीड आप खुद लगाती हैं इस पे?
या ये ऐसा ऐसा आता है, ऐसे एक्रेलिक लाती हूँ, इसके ऊपर ये बीड्स मैंने लगाए हैं।
That's so creative and so pretty. I really think you have to think about your time, कि आपका time कितना लगता है and उसके हिसाब से आप charge करें।
या इसका तो इसलिए इसका तो 15-20 जो है वही मैंने बोला है।
नहीं इसमें तो काम ही बहुत।
के साथ सेशन करो।
नहीं वैसे भी देखो ना कि 1 घंटा कहीं काम करने जाते हैं तो $14 मिलते हैं। चलो उसमें से टैक्सेस वैक्सेस निकाल दिया, फिर भी लाइक एटलीस्ट यू शुड हैव दैट इन माइंड कि मेरा इतना टाइम लगा है तो मैं, और इतने जो प्रोडक्ट लाई हो वो सब उस पे भी टाइम लगता है।
Yeah,
तो
you're
उसके
right.
हिसाब से ये सारा कैलकुलेट
करना चाहिए।